Whatever. All right, man. The recording has started, and
Oh wait,
Are we gonna have
we
theme
need
music?
our, we need our mediator. We don't have theme music right now. Maybe later.
Oh, I can work on
Let's
that
figure
for.
out.
for
how are we
later
gonna
episodes.
introduce
Oh,
ourselves? though?
workshop it right now.
Kiana has to
right
introduce the
now.
pod,
All right.
and then I guess she goes around and tells everybody, "Hey."
Oh gosh, I did
I
not
don't-
think about that. Okay, so yeah, this is gonna be really, really rough draft.
Hold on. Let me
Holy
stop my recording.
How
Let's
we
get this
introduce
shit
everybody?
going.
Hey.
Later.
No, we don't have
No,
to.
no,
This is
no,
natural.
no,
This
no,
is natural.
no.
Just
This
let
is
it,
what it's gonna be.
we'll look
The
back
first
on.
one is going to
There
be
you
shit.
go.
It does not matter.
There you go. There we go, Luis.
This
That's what
shit don't
I'm
gotta
talking
be
about.
shit. It don't gotta be
Ain't
though.
no one's gonna fucking watch this one. It don't matter.
Maybe they'll come back to it, but it doesn't fucking
It's
matter.
just to start.
It doesn't fucking matter.
I
Like you said, it doesn't
shit
matter.
Okay.
nice.
All right, and a 1, and a 2,
It's already going, brother.
and a
It's
1.
already going, brother.
Okay. Welcome
Nice.
to episode 1 of the Usual Spot podcast. We've got everybody here. This is really exciting. So I'm gonna go around.
Hey, I'm fucking happy.
Okay, I'm gonna go around, introduce our amazing cast / group of friends.
This feels like
And-
a work from home orientation.
I know, right?
Shit, boy.
Guys, we're gonna introduce
Oh, my
ourselves and
fucking
then we'll get
goodness,
into.
bro.
Let's do a quick icebreaker. Let me stop. Okay.
Send you HR's email. All right, go ahead.
Okay, so starting off, first and foremost, I am Miss Moderator, Kiana. Next, we have
Disconnected.
Not Joe. Not Joe.
Just keep it going. He'll come back.
Next we
Okay.
have Not Joe.
I'll start from top to bottom. Next, we've got Dell, our military correspondent. Next, we've got Carl.
Wait, what?
I don't think you could do that.
Our
military
military correspondent.
correspondent.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Our
man.
guy on the inside.
Come on.
That's
say
great.
it. Him and his commando teammates. That's what I'm talking about.
Pause. Whoa.
Next, we've got Carl with his makeshift mic. Then we've got Young X
Yeah, what the
Chaos.
fuck is that? Is that on the
Kevin
fucking
here.
straw?
Oh, you weren't paying attention. It's a Pringles can.
You're
Yeah,
such
you
a
missed that whole
dickhead for that, bro.
conversation.
You're such a dickhead for that. You
Yep.
swear you quirky. You're the same.
We've got
Yeah,
Young
there
X
you go.
Chaos.
Innovative.
Also Tevin. Then we're moving on to Shinobi Wan Sean or Marshawn or Sean.
Or
Yes. Then we've got Buku Joe. Then we've got Josuke Joe.
Don't keep I need my shit to be longer than that.
No,
Fuck that. You
okay,
gonna do
okay,
you gave him
okay.
10,000
Okay.
nicknames. I want my
Okay,
shit
then
to be
we-
just as grandiose as his shit.
Okay,
This is
then
why he
we've
gets a thumbs
got
down. This is why he get a thumbs
No,
down.
man,
This
no,
why-
hell
this
no,
why he
hell
gets- why he
no.
gets-
Come on,
Hell
man.
no.
This
You
is why he
gave
gets
him
the
10
He's not the
names.
real Joe. He's not the real
I've
Joe.
been around the
He's Josuke.
block. You gave this nigga
Okay,
10
I've
names.
got a
Josuke.
couple more nicknames. We've got our Sonic correspondent, our
There we go. Yes,
biracial
sir.
king.
Yes,
We've got
Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind.
This Sonic
Never mind.
correspondent.
Mr.
We
Sonic.
love it.
Never mind, bro.
We love
Mr.
it.
Sonic.
Mr.
Never
Sonic.
mind,
Sega Saiyan.
Our Sonic correspondent.
Mr.
Yes, our
Sonic.
Sonic correspondent,
Put it back up.
our visually impaired friend, our biracial king.
Oh, no, we're not saying
There you
These are great
moderator.
names.
Hey,
These are the best names.
Hey, what's that shit? What's that shit Logic said?
No.
We got the Slade and the Slade
Yeah,
Master.
Come on, man.
Yes, sir.
I shouldn't
And
have
what's
said
that's like
shit,
the
y'all
double
right.
I need a jaw to say it. I can't say that.
Pastor. Come on.
There was 10 lies just back to back, just rattling them hoes off, bro.
Different space with the pastor.
Okay. So we've got a really good list of topics here. So let's just jump right in. Everybody rev up those fryers. We are going right now. So let's get right into it. The elephant in the room. On April 2nd, Nintendo had their, I did some research. Nintendo had their presentation of their Switch 2 console. It is causing a lot of uproar. We've got prices, pre-games that were paused, game pricing. It's shaking the world.
Free games.
Free
by the
games.
way.
Pre-order.
Oh, no.
You almost there.
Oh my gosh. Pre-orders. Oh my goodness. We have
Cut that in post.
Okay. So yeah, a lot of things surrounding the Switch. I'm gonna throw it to you guys, pause, and we can get started.
That didn't need a pause, but
That needed a pause. That needed a pause.
so it's
That
us.
needed a pause.
I think
Yes.
Josuke was the one to bring this topic up in the chat. And he posed the question: is this greed or something else you said? But I kind of interpret it as like, is this greed or a taste of what's to come in the industry?
Yeah. It's just like, so it's just inevitable, right? Like, were we just delaying this from always happening? Like, I'm on the fence. I kind of think it's needed. Like, you want these companies to make as much money as they can to make the games you want. Like, it's hard for me to look like the daily consumer or whatever in the face and be like, pay $100 for this game that's for GTA 6 is coming out when they're gonna charge you for shark cards or the fuck currency. But at the same time, it's like, you don't want these people to make money to make games at a loss constantly, and then these studios keep shutting down. But even that's a whole different conversation. But yeah, I don't know. I'm on the fence. I'm leaning towards it's kind of just something that's inevitable. Like, we just gotta kind of take that shit.
I think that it is both. I think it is both. Yes, it is inevitable, but it is inevitable due to the greed that these companies have. There's no reason why these games need to cost $80. These Switch 2 games are not even physical games. You are basically getting a like some form of connect link to download a cloud version of the game. Like, you don't technically physically own the game. So I'm paying more money to not even really own these games like I do currently for the physical version. That's dumb. Like, that's so stupid. They're not losing money right now. They haven't been losing money. Nintendo specifically barely even puts their games on sale, especially Mario don't be seeing sales. Every other game might see Mario not seeing those sales. Pokemon don't be seeing those sales. They're not losing money. Like, they are good. Like, it makes the standard this when they do that, but it's just a factor of greed. So yes, it is inevitable, but when you like set the standard and people are just going to accept it, then yeah, it's like, of course they're not going to stop. Like, why would I stop overcharging you if I know you're still going to pay it? Like, that doesn't matter to me. I don't care about your pockets. I just want to make more money. So I don't like it. It's dumb. I hated it when I found out that GTA is rumored to be $100. I said it then. I don't think that, like, I think GTA is a great game. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to act like it sucks or anything like that. I don't think necessarily these games are gonna suck either. Like I told them when we watched the direct, I think that Donkey Kong game looks extremely fun. Like, a lot of those games I'm actually interested in. But the fact that I'm paying this much money for them just doesn't make sense when it's not necessary. It's literally not necessary at all. It just breeds more of this greed, and then, like you said, it just becomes an inevitability. And I don't agree to that or like that.
Yeah, like, to kind of go off on that, what makes it even like kind of worse is that with Mario Kart World specifically, they took away certain stuff. So in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, you're able to customize carts and stuff like that. You can't even customize your cart in Mario Kart World, apparently.
Did you watch the Treehouse?
No, my brother is into it. So like, I asked him last night, like, what did they take away? What did they add? He was like, yeah, you can't even customize stuff. And I feel like they just like threw stuff in, like extra characters in, like random Shoals dolphin as a character to kind of placate that.
You could play as the cow.
Like,
did you not see the fucking cow on the bike?
I did
grinding on the fucking,
like, it's cool. Like, it is cool. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, that shit's
and like I am a victim of the society that I live in. I will most likely still end up getting these games. Like I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm not gonna. These games look
I'm not
fun.
gonna be
but
fucking
that's
happy
the
about
issue.
it though.
Like that's the issue. I don't want to have to pay these prices for these games.
Yeah.
Now, like there might be other ways to get these games, and they might be cheaper prices. That's all I'll say. But like
I'll
at the
fucking
end of the
say
day,
it.
I'm gonna get these games. So it's just I hate it. I hate that
Invest
this
in a
has to
Steam
be
Deck.
So
Oh yeah, I have one. Yeah, invest in the Steam Deck for sure.
Invest
For
in a
sure,
Rogue
invest
Ally.
in the Steam Deck.
let me
For sure.
let me ask y'all a question that kind of just, I guess, play devil's advocate a bit, because we all have an understanding of like what the tariffs are doing, the fact that they delay pre-orders based on other countries getting tariffs, or Trump putting tariffs on other countries to import goods, or whatever the case is, right? Is this like a perfect storm for Nintendo to get away with this pricing? Like, do y'all think
No.
that like for them, right, to like as an excuse, right? Like, do y'all think that the prices were the prices prior to like any of the tariff shit going on or whatever?
Yes.
And,
I
like,
mean, isn't that what
Yeah,
they
the
said?
tariffs means to me.
They
sorry,
said
real quick,
it.
Kevin, that
Yeah,
there's
they
gonna
just
be
said that,
more.
right?
The tariffs mean that they're gonna
Yeah,
up
they
the
said
they're
it.
gonna
prices.
even up it higher than what it.
Yeah, they're
already
gonna
was.
up
They
it
said it
higher.
was-
Like
no,
that's
The
what that
fact
tells
that the
me.
game was 80 or
They-
90, or how much was it, $80 or $90
Eight-
for?
Yeah, it's like 80
It's
physical
80.
and
It's
I mean
80.
80,
It's 80
80
USD.
digital and
So
like 90.
that was
80
already
digital, 90
happening.
No, so
before.
the 90 physical was never confirmed. The 90 physical was never confirmed.
No,
That
it
was
was
never
confirmed
Okay.
because it was on it
It
was a
was?
couple. It wasn't every game. It was a couple games and it was on Nintendo's website. Yes, it was confirmed. Because I remember
The $90 for physical?
Yes, the 90 because somebody it might have been TBH, but I know it was a streamer that like they went on Nintendo's actual site and it was $90 for the physical version of the game. It was not.
Kiana,
I
we
know,
fact check
but
this?
reliable
like
source.
I
though?
actually saw them go
Reliable
on
source.
Nintendo's website and look at the physical version, and it was Mario
Just a
Kart was
fucking hater,
$90.
bro.
Mario Kart was 90. But I think Donkey Kong was like 70. That was
Mhm.
it was like that. Mario Kart was 90. I think Donkey Kong was 70, and there was another one that was like 92. But yeah, like it was actually a couple of. I think they took the prices off now because of the tariff stuff. But I want to say that it was pretty much like confirmed that some of those games were $90.
I will jump in per Reddit because it has been taken down from the site. It does say Nintendo confirmed $90 price for Breath of the Wild.
Mhm.
And then it
That-
says
yeah.
plus other games.
Yeah, it was
What?
definitely up there.
Well,
Yeah.
the Breath of the Wild
$90
shit is a
for
separate issue, right? 'Cause
8-year-old
that's-
game?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a whole other conversation.
Oh, okay, okay.
Because Breath of the Wild it's coming out retail 70, but then you would have to pay $20 for
If
the
you-
DLC
if you haven't owned
if
it.
you don't already have
Oh,
it. Yeah,
hell.
but then
Okay.
it comes.
It is
which
just
is
So then it
Breath
comes
of-
out to
Breath of
90.
the Wild from 8 years
So you're
ago. Breath of
paying-
the Wild.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're paying $70 for a Wii U game. So yeah, I'm gonna fucking say this is greed, biblical greed. It's fucking Nintendo. What are we
But
saying?
I guess the thing is you're basically getting. Are they getting the same amount of money that they would have gotten from a new consumer that they got from someone who has already purchased those games? Because it's about a $10 upgrade, I think. Like if you were like, let's just look at Breath of the Wild in of itself, not Tears of the Kingdom, but Breath of the Wild. I think the original price of that game is $60, right? And then you had the DLC, which was maybe 20 or something like that. And so if you wanted to upgrade, so you're already spending $80. If you want to upgrade, it's $10. And I am assuming, because they have not confirmed this, I'm assuming that altogether you would have spent $90 to get the Switch 2 upgrade, whatever. So if someone is new, oh yeah, they would be spending the same thing, those $90, because it would be $70 for the game, the base game, and then $20 for the DLC. So it's basically like, hey, y'all not getting no deals if you decided to buy a Switch 2. If you skipped out on the Switch and you're buying the Switch 2, you're gonna pay what these people paid like prior to it. Which I just think that's bad practice, bro. Like that's so terrible. It's anti-consumer. It's kind of disgusting. It's like, how old is that game now? Like what?
Isn't Breath of the
2017?
Wild though? Isn't Breath of the Wild a Wii U game?
It is a
Yes.
Wii U game.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Paying $90 for a fucking Wii U game.
That's like, but you're getting enhanced graphics. Come on, guys.
Man, suck my.
That
Yeah.
shit already
And-
ran like a potato.
Oh,
Well, not
brother.
really.
Advanced
Breath of the
Yeah.
Wild was
Now
like
it's
It's gonna
gonna
look
run
like
like
the
Apple
PS4
potato.
Pro.
Come on, bro.
How
I can
advanced
promise
is
you.
the PS4 Pro graphics?
I can promise
won't
you
even
with the
look like that. They're not
$90
built
that
from the
you'll
ground
spend,
up.
you won't experience any more popping.
Will it
That won't
look
happen.
will it look better? Will it look better than it does on Ryu Jinx with the
Hey.
with the
I ain't
Up
saying
4K?
nothing about that.
I don't know what that
Yeah,
is.
on redacted. Yeah, I don't know about redacted.
Allegedly.
I don't know about redacted.
Allegedly.
I'm looking in the sky
They
for
gonna-
the,
they
for the
gonna- they
Nintendo
gonna come
helicopter.
pick your ass
Tweet
up.
that out. Hey, tweet that
Don't
out.
strike me. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Mr. Anarchist here.
they
The
could have.
fuck?
But what you were asking before about hiding behind the tariffs, they could have done that,
Mm.
but they didn't because they'd come out and it's gonna be 50
Mm.
MSRP like
This
450.
jackass decided to be
we don't know.
outside, and I was lagging and shit. This like
Okay, I had to
This
make
jack-
sure. it
Yeah.
wasn't-
No,
this jackass lagging. Bring your ass
Oh,
inside.
no.
Bring your-
He's
He's
like,
lagging.
I'm
He's actually
crying.
lagging.
Wait, hold
swear
on.
he's
Okay, I think he's
different,
good. I
bro.
think
Wasn't
he's
lagging
I
the
think
whole
he's always good.
time.
I think he's always good.
bro, it wasn't lagging the whole time I got full bars. It's Nintendo.
Yeah, it wasn't lagging until
This-
you brought up
Man,
Nintendo.
this
Them boys
chick- wait,
trying
wait,
to-
wait, lagging
trying to
until I
do
brought
that
it
fucking
too.
retarded
Hey,
thing.
hey, he brought up something. He wasn't supposed to bring up. They tried to get rid of it.
Yeah, that's
He brought up something he wasn't
Bro, the
supposed
lag
to bring
switch
up.
on me.
That's how that Nintendo Switch 2 fucking video chat shit gonna look.
Yeah.
They try to-
Mhm.
lagging and shit.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, according to Gene Park, he had a friend who is black who went to the Nintendo event and the camera could not pick him up.
Huh?
Wait, what?
Huh?
Like it could.
Huh?
I'm dead. Everybody just stopped listening to the story.
What?
He was black. I saw every
What?
nigga-
It's the
every
fucking
nigga
Nintendo.
said,
The camera. This is the Nintendo camera.
Wait.
Wait,
I'm
so like the
crying.
Nintendo camera basically
Nah, it-
sucks.
Luis,
It's having
Luis,
the-
I heard you.
y'all don't-
I just actively
Y'all don't-
saw
but
everybody
y'all don't-
stop listening
y'all don't
after you
fucking-
said
y'all
that he
don't-
was black. I saw them niggas just be like,
It's
"What the fuck?"
relevant to what we're talking about. Y'all remember when the
No.
Connect would
Well,
pick up black
I'm gonna need
people?
you to expound upon that.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just
glad
saying
you
the
did.
camera is shit. All
Glad you
right.
did.
Okay, guys,
Nah.
let's
That
let's.
sucks.
I'm just saying. I'm just trying to
circle-
let my friends know. The camera y'all
Let's-
buy.
I got one more thing that I want to extend on that topic in particular, right?
Oh.
So with games being this much, and like Joe was alluding to earlier about like the pricing of GTA potentially being $100, I did want to ask y'all: is there a game that's out there right now that you potentially would have paid $100 to play, or let's just say you know about the impact or the effect that game has had on you previously, and if it was to re-release without like you know the impact but you don't know the game, like you know like what it did for you but you don't know like specifically like the portions of it, would you what is that game that you would pay $100 for? Is there a game that you would pay $100 for that?
No.
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 Street
I
Fighter.
think
No.
y'all
I'll
are all
buy
cap.
Street
It's
Fighter.
No
Yeah,
Final
Right.
Fantasy
No.
games, no Sonic
No,
games.
not $100. My game that
I
would
paid
No
$400
Rebirth.
for
doesn't
Final
exist.
Fantasy 7, so I mean,
My
what's
game
the
that would
thing?
cost $100 does not exist. My game, like I swear, and it's gonna sound so like extreme. It would have to be literally every single God of War game, like 1 through 3, the
franchise.
like the side games, Ascension, Chains of Olympus, and then God of War 2018 and Ragnarok. That would make me pay $100 or maybe even like 120,
I-
150.
Trying to fleece these
I
niggas.
believe Joe. Joe
I'm
is the
like,
only
that's
person
all-
I
that-
believe.
that's
You
literally
no
it.
no
That's the
don't do
only
that
game.
don't do that because I'm about to expose his ass, because I swear to God every time 2K comes out you spending base $100 just to play that fucking game.
No, I wasn't.
No,
No, I
Base
wasn't.
$100
No, I
to
wasn't.
enjoy that game, bro.
No, I
that's
was
true.
not. I
don't do
swear I
that,
was
don't do
not.
that.
I swear I
Don't do
was
that,
not.
because there are games I know for a fact there are games that we have all sunk money into, especially like with
Okay,
the
I
whole
changed- I
battle
changed
pass
my answer.
format
I
and
changed
shit
my
like
answer.
that.
Yeah.
We spent $100.
Well, okay, what
on
would
games
hold on?
before.
What would Ted? What would you buy?
I changed my answer. I have to change
What-
my answer.
What would
I
you
know.
buy?
It's like I know y'all are cap.
$100.
I'm
Nah, it's not that I have a game like on my mind that I'm like, yeah, I'm willing to spend 100. But I guess part 3 for Final Fantasy 7 remake, right? Because I did buy the
Mhm.
collectors, and so that's way more than $100. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
that shit
Well,
damn near
I think-
bankrupt
I
me
think-
when
Getting
I bought
other
that
stuff to
shit.
go with it, but
Yeah, but I think the idea that Sean's trying to ask is like the game itself. Like you're not getting anything but the game, and it's the price
That's
point
what-
is $100.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, if we're talking about just 2K, I never pay for like the expensive 2K. I might get VC, and even then, I make sure like it doesn't always add up to 100, just depending on the build that I make. So like but the base game that I get for 2K every year is the $60 version. Like I don't buy the extra like $100 because it doesn't, like, the value isn't there for me. Like I don't see a need
yeah,
to get that
yeah.
version. I'll just get the base game, and then if I want to get VC, then I'll go from there. But I don't have to base game get VC, and I don't need to get the extra version of 2K. That's why
Yeah.
I mean,
not
there
lie.
are games
for
that
about
I've
2 minutes.
Yeah.
all right?
That's just the
I know,
truth. That's literally
I
the
know
truth.
this nigga. I
Man.
swear
That's
to
literally
God,
the truth.
around 2K, when we started getting money around 2K, maybe 18, 2K 17 around that time, niggas was buying $100 package, the fucking historic versions that they started introducing, all that shit. Niggas was doing that.
I did not get those.
Cap.
On me,
I mean,
I did
okay,
not.
but
He's got.
I
I
literally
think
did not
that's
get those.
but I also think that's an interesting point to make because if the base game's gonna be 100,
Mhm.
what are premium versions of that game gonna look like? Or now where we
130?
live 130, 150, because we're
130.
living in a world where like pay fucking 20 more bucks, you get to play the game 3 days earlier. And for GTA 6, they will do that.
Okay,
So, like-
I'm gonna go on record here and I'm gonna get shot. And I'm gonna say GTA 6 is hopping out at $70. I'm saying it here right now for
Oh,
everybody.
man.
I'm not.
You know
I would
what?
love that.
I would
love
be really
Mhm.
ecstatic if that happens. I'm with Tevin. I think they're doing it at 7.
I think it's happening. I
I'm
think
with
it's
Tevin.
happening. I think they want
Yeah.
to show that they don't have to do what people like Nintendo can do. They could price it regularly and still make a bunch of money back because they're Rockstar.
I agree with that.
Oh,
I
yeah,
hope that that's the
they
mindset
drop
they
it
take.
at 60.
Bro, the pre-orders they're looking
No.
they're looking
Drop
at
it at
$1 billion in
Oh
pre-orders.
yeah,
that
why
to
don't
me.
they drop it at
Matter of
50?
fact,
Yeah, you saying that like they watching this shit.
No.
This niggas don't give
Matter of
a fuck.
20.
No, but
Put your dick on the
think,
table.
I think
You
to
Rockstar.
Tevin's point, if they decide to price that shit at $70, like everybody's sucking Rockstar's cock for like the rest of the year. Bro.
Yeah, like not even
Yeah.
funny.
oh
I'm
my
going
God,
to
like,
get the game.
who
with-
is-
saviors of gaming.
I would get the
Then
game
come
at
down
Oh,
and-
$70.
you talking about the mother niggas.
You said
Like
what?
yes,
Yeah,
a little bit
nah.
more than 60, but I would get the game at 70. 100,
Mm.
that's where I draw the line. Like hell no. Base game $100, no.
I'm
Man,
still-
$70?
I'm
you
still
gonna have
confident. I'm
you gonna have
still
200
confident
hours.
at
I'ma
on that
get
shit,
it.
I
though.
can't.
Like,
You got
I'ma get it,
200
but it's
me,
not gonna
I'm
be
not
day one.
copying. I'm not copying.
I'll
I
get it when it's on
think-
sale.
Any person that
Come on.
says they won't pay $100 for like it is, I don't have to name a specific game. It's like I just know that there is a game out there that y'all would spend that money on to play at launch. I know that
No,
for a fact.
you're
Base-
no, you're wrong,
base
bro.
game.
You're wrong,
Base
Dale.
game
You're
just
wrong,
make-
Dale.
The
Would you
base
pay
game, I
$100 for
No,
promise you.
no,
If
no,
I
they-
wrong, Dale.
promise you.
You're wrong,
I know
Dale.
y'all, and y'all will do that. Like
Bullshit.
Dale,
y'all
Dale,
have
Dale.
spent
Dale,
You're
you
wrong,
money
Dale.
on
you
games
know,
before.
the only other game other than God of War, if they did that same thing with all the Pokemon games, then yeah, base game Pokemon games,
Bro.
yes, 100,
Bro, Joe.
130,
Joe,
150 maybe.
let me. Nah, I'm talking to you right now. If Nintendo showed us a trailer for a brand new Pokemon game, it was like literally everything that you could possibly want that you've been dreaming as a
$100
kid. You could dream it as a kid. It's like it runs better, it looks amazing. Like it's like literally you could perfectly dream this up, and it would still look better, like in reality. And it was like $100 for it. You're paying that, like
No.
No,
I'll buy
I'm
that.
not.
I'll buy that. I ain't
Dale,
gonna
it's
hold
no,
you.
it's
I'm
like
I'll
I
buy that
promise,
shit.
like bro,
Dale, no, I'm
you're
not.
Guys,
going-
our military correspondent has spoken. He has seen the timelines. If he says y'all are buying it, he has seen it. Let's
seen it.
let's transition.
Listen out the
He has seen it with his own eyes. He has the file folder
Mm,
saved.
yeah.
I would
But
say
I
there
will
are games
say,
that. Oh, go ahead.
go ahead, Carl.
Oh, I was just gonna say there are games that I've spent $100 or more on, but that's just like I got Resident Evil 4. I've probably spent over $200 on Resident Evil 4 just because I buy it on every platform that it gets ported to. But then again, I'm getting it on a different platform. So
I just think
don't know.
as someone who is removed from like the games and the releases, I feel bad for kids. This was honestly my thoughts as I was listening to y'all talk about this after the Nintendo presentation and then now. I feel so bad for kids because I feel like no matter the console, whether it was the GameCube, the Xbox, PlayStation, the Wii, whatever the case, I feel like when I was younger, and I feel like you guys probably had a similar experience, like when we would go to GameStop, we would get the game that we really, really wanted. And then like we would look
no, I
around
was
and
poor.
then okay. Got it. Okay.
I would get the
Understood.
game. I would get the game that I really, really wanted, and my mom would be like,
Yeah.
"Fuck no!" So then I'd go to the pre-owned section and
See,
find a
that's what I was
$10
about to say.
$10 piece of shit game, and I end up playing fucking Dark Void or whatever the fuck.
That's
like,
what
this
I
is
was gonna
trash.
say. It was like you would
Yeah.
go in for the game you really wanted, and if maybe this is not a shared experience, but I would get the game I really, really wanted, and then I would go to the pre-owned section and I would pick up a couple of just like, oh, I heard about this. Oh, this is you get to be a I get to own a dog in this game. Like just like the random games.
Y'all
Nintendo
hear
Like,
this
was
shit?
not.
I
Nintendo
can't relate to this shit at all. She's
Yeah,
talking
you were
about
getting
like
okay,
5
Nintendo.
games and one
Nintendo's was
shit.
full
She
price.
get 5
$60
games.
game.
Hell
Nigga-
no! I
nigga
remember,
know
bro.
he
I
was
went to
Silver Spoon,
GameStop.
bro.
I
Come
went
on,
to
man. You gotta
GameStop,
act.
bro. I tried to
You
get
gotta act.
the Xbox
But-
360 Need for Speed Undercover because they 2 different games. It's like it's the same game, but they're different. Because one was on the Wii. My mom was like, "Can't afford this shit. Got me the broke ass Wii version. I want the choke slammer ass. I just didn't understand
You
that."
want
And she
Call of
said,
Duty Black Ops on the PS3? You can get
Yeah.
it on the DS.
"Yeah, you get it on the
You can get
DS."
the
But like,
version.
I'm like, the fuck. And Keanu
No one
just
likes that
silently
one.
dropped. Yeah, get the main game. They get like 5 other kind of shitters, just for the hell.
But
What's
I
going
think
on?
Toa Kiana. Wait, so like, are you trying to get at like just we're about to hit a recession, so these kids aren't going to be able to play
I mean,
GTA, which
that,
they're
but
playing
I was
anyways.
just gonna say, like, I feel like, especially if you have siblings, it's really gonna be a conversation in the house of like, this is the game. Because I was gonna say, by the time you got the game you really wanted, plus a couple of pre-owns, that's gonna equal just the price of one game. And I think y'all brought it up, like with your special editions. Because I remember, and I could be wrong, I'm just going off the top of my head. I remember there being like a Pokemon like Blue Diamond game or something like that that I loved.
I think that's
Like
a porn star.
I'm sorry.
Bro, shut up, Luis.
Sorry.
Keanu, Kim,
Let her
please.
cook.
Bad.
She over there
Yes, I
laughing.
remember there being like a Pokemon Blue Diamond DS game. And I remember going to get that plus a couple others. And I feel like that's going to be a fight with these kids because you're not going to be able to get a couple of others. You can barely get one. So that was my
I
point.
think
A lot of kids getting
I
GTA
think-
this year, and that's it. Especially
Yeah.
when this
yeah,
recession is about to come up.
there's gonna be I think there's gonna be that. I think a few different things are gonna start happening. I think AA games are gonna get more of a chance. Like you got stuff like South of Midnight and Atom Fall coming out at like $40. And so people are probably going to give those games a fair shot. And those games have their charm and they're pretty good. I also think that this might be, if this recession hits and Xbox is smart, they will capitalize and be like, get Game Pass.
Mhm.
You
I think
cannot
they've already been setting
afford-
themselves up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you cannot afford, these kids cannot,
Damn.
like you can't
Mhm.
afford to buy these games at full price, pay this $15 or $20 a month
Mhm.
and just have access to everything. And you can just play it and
That's
you know,
different shit.
simple. Yeah.
It kind of it's like really crazy because of course I don't think they were projecting like, oh my god, there's a potential of a recession happening or some like some
Happy
bad
accident.
shit going or whatever the case is, right? But it's like they have set themselves up where, like how you said, it can be pretty lucrative, especially going forward. Because what was that shit that was like before its time, right? Like y'all remember the subscription service back in the day, like
Gamefly?
Gamefly. There you go. Yeah.
Yes.
It's like it's just gonna be
Love
like one of
Gamefly.
those, but like much more lucrative.
I knew
it's
about
really
it.
interesting to see that. Yeah. to see that.
Oh yeah. I would be like, Mom, can we get Gamefly? And she heard I had to use a credit card. She was like, fuck no.
Nah.
Mm.
No.
But yeah,
On a subscription
definitely.
basis.
Anyway, fuck Nintendo. I hate
For,
you.
we will follow for updates. And I'll just close this by saying Trump has paused the tariff talk for 90 days. So we'll just have to revisit and maybe the pre-order will come out before then or it won't. We will definitely have to table this.
Pirating Metroid 4.
Yes, redacting Metroid 4.
Oh my god.
So let's
This
All right,
transition.
I got it.
And
I
you
gotta
should
ruin- I gotta
pirate
take
it
all that-
too.
I gotta take all that shit out. Oh my god.
Nintendo
I bet said that you
get our
should
ass.
too.
And
We
I
would like
think
to
this
say
would
that
be a
we all have
great-
our own opinions. Sorry, that's why I just want to say
we all
No,
have
I
our own
speak
opinions.
for the usual spot and everyone here.
that.
I speak for the military as well.
No,
I
no.
know to say
Those
that.
I
have
I know
Dell's
to say
blessing
that.
to
I know to
speak
say that all the
Oh.
for the
That
He
was
is
military.
trying to
nice.
speak for the black man.
Hold up, I just heard a window breaking my shit. What the fuck?
He is
Hold
trying to speak for the
up.
black man.
Is that scene from Transformers? Breaking into their house and shit. All right,
Yeah.
enough of this.
But yeah,
Sorry,
while we're on the topics of games and all of those things, let's transition to the next elephant in the room. This is a live and real time elephant in the room. In a few hours, The Last of Us Part 2 is premiering tonight.
Mm.
Oh.
And we're going to go back to the conversation that has been beat into the ground over and over and over and over and over again. The casting of Ellie. Let's just get right into it. Who's gonna start us off?
She's
Y'all
trash.
are weird.
I'll start.
Y'all
us
are
off.
weird.
Damn, wait, hold on. Was that?
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's
Because I
go.
think we have like two. Do we have 2 or 1 topic surrounding The Last of Us? I think
Well,
it's 2. One's like game. Okay, yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
around. Yeah, let's let the moderator kind of unpack where we are with
No,
these
I
topics.
couldn't remember.
Um,
I
Let me
couldn't remember
do my
because I
job.
wanted
Let
to
the,
make sure I
let
was
the
like,
moderator moderate.
Come
I was
on
making
now.
sure, I was
Moderate.
making sure I pulled the right tweet. That's all it was,
Tell me
right?
to shut the fuck up.
So, so
So
the
the
other
topics
day,
around it.
hold on, let me pull this tweet out here. Okay,
While
yeah.
he's pulling up
The
the
other day,
tweet.
I got it.
Oh, okay, my bad.
So just on Twitter the last couple of days, I call it dogpiling. There's been a lot of dogpiling happening with Bella Ramsey's character casting as Ellie in The Last of Us 2. People have been like, "Dog, what the fuck is this? Oh my gosh, she can't act." Like just a bunch of weird like conversations surrounding the casting of Ellie.
The acting in that scene was not great. Come on now.
I
We
have
gotta
not.
stop
I haven't
this.
seen the clip.
We gotta stop this.
I haven't seen the clip.
That's like such a weird
I haven't watched
scene
Last
to
of
pull
Us,
out
so
because I can
don't
show
have
you
to-
like 10 acting scenes. I'm not gonna do this. You almost got me off.
I'm just saying it was a weird scene. I'm not judging her as an actor. I'm just saying
Let me
that
go.
scene was weird.
But
Where is this clip? This is a.
you're
let me go
agreeing
pull
with
Can somebody
what's his
share
face
the
now?
can somebody share the clip? 'Cause
Yeah,
somebody
we
can
can
share
drop
it.
the link.
It's in the anime
Discord.
chat. No.
I can share the clip.
No, I'm saying you can share on the meet though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, give me.
Kiana, can you pull this up, please? I'm gonna treat Kiana the way that Joe Rogan treats that one. guy.
Oh yeah. Jamie.
Hey,
Jamie,
Jamie,
pull
can we
this
pull
up.
this up real quick?
All right.
I'll let Marshawn drop the link.
I'm gonna pull it up, but basically, oh goodness, yeah, people have just been kind of like shitting on her and like what she's been doing, and someone came out and tried to like, I guess, say some things in defense of her, but in my opinion, they went a bit too far. Did I put this in Topic Dropper or where did I put this? The clip.
It's in anime, movies, and TV.
Anime, movies, and TV. I put the clip there. Okay.
That's it. Those 21
It's so-
seconds is what everyone's
bro,
bitching about.
It's so stupid.
Also,
Luis.
that
It's
is
so
the most
stupid.
Ellie thing to fucking do.
It is.
I
I'm
don't
not
got
hearing this.
understand.
I'm
I
not
don't
hearing
got
this.
understand.
I watched season 1. She
When it
was
comes
great
to
in season
infecting.
1. I
Hey,
literally have a
no.
whole
She
season
was. She was
22
great
to
in
be
season
like,
one.
she's a great Ellie. So I'm not. This
I'm
conversation is
just
so.
saying this
It's
ain't
rage bait.
hitting.
Yeah, I'm
It's
Look
not
at who
hitting.
confused. I
posted
thought
the clip.
we.
It was
I thought
fucking
we dispelled
Kira.
these rumors.
Listen, I think the
Yes,
fact,
let's
that we're
dogpile on
talking
Kira.
about
Him
Kira
agreeing with
is-
Kira is crazy. Him
No,
agreeing
no,
with
no.
Kira
I don't
is
agree.
I
crazy.
No,
think
no,
the
no,
fact
no,
that
no,
we're-
no, 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 not on your life.
No,
I do
no,
not
no.
agree
I'm
with
bringing
Kira.
up.
Kira
I'm bringing
is-
up
That's what you're
Kira. I'm
doing.
bringing up Kira because
Guys,
it's
I'm
No, I'm
crazy that
not.
we are still having conversations about clear rage bait by accounts like Kira that just want the fucking engagement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Kira is trash. I don't support anything Kira does. Kira, if you hear this, quit Twitter. But
I said, quit Twitter.
All right. I'm gonna play
Yellow
the clip.
Opera.
I'm gonna
That's a
play.
choice.
That's a choice.
Sorry.
Hey, opera's great. What's up with opera?
Anyway,
No, I'm
play
saying
the-
he's
I'm
a
gonna
bit
play the
yellow.
clip.
You know,
If you
like
guys
shit,
haven't seen the
maybe
clip,
yellow.
this is
Oh,
also
oh,
for
yeah.
the viewers out there.
That's a
This is the
choice.
clip where Kira says worst acting he's ever seen. Oh my god.
By the way, you know I'm the one we should be least worried about when it comes to infecting.
Hey,
And no one can hear.
You swore. You
You
don't
guys
talk.
can't hear this? You can't hear it?
No, I can't hear it. Can't hear it.
no.
Oh my god. Okay. Well, hold on.
Yeah, you probably got it playing through your headphones.
Yeah, I think your
Also,
presentation is mute.
spoilers, I guess, if you don't care.
It says
this
you
from
can't
episode
unmute someone
1
else's.
or-
Sure, I'll act this shit out. Damn. What's her fucking name?
That's crazy because I know they can. Oh, this is to share audio. Share.
I will
tab
say,
instead. I see.
I agree with Tevin. I think this scene, it's a little cringe.
All right.
but-
It's a
okay.
little shake. It's a little shaky, Warrior.
It's
But
not
I
that
still
deep.
love this. I still love this character in this performance.
I
or-
have it
or
working
portrayal.
now. You guys should be able to hear the audio. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, here we go.
please.
By the way, you know I'm the one we should be least worried about when it comes to infecting.
Hey, no. You swore. We don't talk about that.
I got bit on my arm.
Ellie, we don't talk about that.
I got bit, everybody!
Hey.
I got bit!
Hey, hey.
I'm immune!
Whoa, hey.
Woo!
Yeah.
By the way, you know
Nothing.
That's
that is
hard.
a
I ain't gonna lie. I
nothing
like
That
that.
is
burger.
nothing.
That's hard.
That is a nothing.
I don't know why.
burger,
I don't
bro.
know. I
Who
don't know
can
why that
relate?
clip-
Woo!
Yeah, I don't know why that clip reminded me of the fucking was it Jason Tatum?
Oh.
We
You
did
said,
it!
We
we
did
did
it!
We did
We
it.
did it!
And that shit was
Look,
ass.
Look,
So
I think the scene is a bit cringe. It's not like the greatest scene, but like
It's silly.
Luis,
That's all I'm
Luis said,
saying.
that's Ellie.
That's
It's
all
like,
I'm saying.
but
It's-
that
that's-
doesn't mean that the acting
She-
is the worst that
I
he's
do
ever
I
seen.
do have
No,
a question
Bullshit.
though.
But
I
that's
do
that's
have a
not
question
what I'm
though.
agreeing with.
As a nigga who hasn't seen this shit, I know everybody go like, well, it doesn't matter if she looks like or whatever, and you can say what you want about like her vocal inflection, but I do think that like she didn't really like just devil's advocate, like she didn't really emote well, like with the face of like trying to show that she doesn't really understand that she doesn't necessarily agree what she's being told with. I do feel like she's like just blank face and then doing it.
Yeah, I think her
I-
acting was bad before the scream. It's not just the scream. It's like the
But this
first sentence
isn't
she
the
speaks.
clip,
It's not great.
But this
It's not
isn't
great.
this isn't the clip. If this was this
doing?
is such a
It's
this is
just
such a
not great.
nothing scene. If this was a
It's
scene as
literally
heavy as
nothing.
like
Sure,
if this
I'm
was a
not.
scene as crazy as like the Dave, what is his name, David in the cannibal guy in season 1, like then we could have a
Bro,
conversation. But this
you
is
wanna
such a
talk
Yeah,
about
nothing
but
scene?
moment.
I'm
talk
just
about,
agreeing
That was
that
that
yeah,
proved everything to
saying,
me.
I'm just saying that this particular scene isn't the greatest. I'm not saying she's not a bad. I'm not saying she's a bad actress. I just
Okay.
think this scene is not the greatest scene. That's it.
All right. That's fine.
Let's take where I
Just
wanted to
opinion.
get to with the conversation was someone defending her because she's been getting a lot of shit online based off of how she looks. They don't think that the casting's right because she doesn't look like Ellie. The tweet that we just showed you guys there, trying to say her acting is bad, all of these things, right? Someone in defense of her decided to say that people getting mad at HBO because they don't want to fuck the actress that is playing a traumatized child. This tweet has 277,000
Oh,
likes.
that's
and
what that tweet was about.
I thought that was ridiculous.
What?
I
I
thought
disagree.
that was ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
I thought it was
It
fucking
No,
is
that's-
insane.
No,
I
it's
It
not.
That
takes
was
away
fucking
nuance. It takes
insane.
away nuance from the conversation. I think.
It
I
does.
I,
Dude.
I
And it
disagree with
and
that
it-
because I think like just personally it doesn't necessarily mean that everybody that dislikes that Ellie thinks that way, but it like that is how a lot of people view it. Like they
I don't disagree.
just,
with that.
just like a lot of people are just weird. Like for like a layman's term, I know it's way more than that, but a lot of people have like a lot of those type of ideations. Like they think that way. They really like it's like the level of attractiveness that they have towards the character and like, oh yeah, she doesn't look like Ellie. That's some of it is just like the fact that it doesn't look like Ellie from the game, definitely. But other parts is like she doesn't look good enough to be the Ellie that I imagine when I'm playing the game. Like that's actually a thing. And I feel like
Especially in the gamer space.
yeah, like I feel like to ignore that, especially in this day and age where like
Hey, man.
literally everybody gets there. I forgot her name, but the black actress that's in like every video game now. That's the one that's in Jedi Survivor. I mean, you
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about? Like
Yeah,
she like the grifters literally are on her because they're like, bro, why is she in every game? Like, what does she do? And then like when you get down to the nitty gritty of it, it's the fact that they don't find her attractive. It's like it's
And she's
literally
not
just
even a
simple-
main character.
like
by
she's
the
not
way.
a main, she's a side character in almost everything that she's in. She's not like she's doing a great job, but she's not taking away from anything else going on in the story. It's just the fact that you don't find this female in the game attractive, so you have an issue with it. Like that's how a lot of these conversations are to me sometimes. Not saying everybody thinks that way, but when I start seeing certain patterns that you have dealing with this conversation and also dealing with other things that revolve around it, it's like, yeah, you're mad because she's not attracted to you. That's weird. I don't care what you have to say anymore because I know what type of timing that you are specifically on. Like that's just a very weird thing to get mad about because she doesn't look like the girl of your dreams when you imagine Ellie. Like that's weird as fuck to me.
Okay, let me add a little bit more nuance to the conversation. I think Josuke was alluding to earlier, right? I do believe that there are people out there that you describe that look at it that way. Maybe I'm just a bit naive in a way or whatever the case is, but I think for me personally, I remember when I was looking at the casting for Joel and Ellie, like prior to watching that first season, like I was like in here joking around saying like, that's not my Ellie. She doesn't look like Ellie, this, that, and the third. And from where I'm coming from, it had nothing to do with a sexual attraction I had when I was like a teenager watching these games or like whatever the case was, it's just like when you're casting these characters, you kind of look for the first thing
You
is like,
must.
does this person look like this character? Now, I think that's a shallow way to look at it. Look, let me just go ahead.
I was gonna say, you make a decent point. The problem is, you were thinking that during season 1, before season 1 came out, which is somewhat valid. But now the show is out. You've seen a full season of this character, of this actress or actor playing this character. So you can't really use that as an excuse anymore going into season 2.
I
Which
disagree.
is why it's like, why are we
you could have
rehashing
never
it?
been happy about season one, though.
I
You could
agree
have
with
still
you.
been about season
I don't
one.
even think the people that are doing this or commenting or doing the engagement bait shit have even seen the first season. I think a lot of them are probably just now catching up and like they finally like are watching it and seeing like, oh my god, this is what Ellie looks like. Like I feel like this is like new information for a lot of people and it's catching like wildfire because now they can give their opinion on it and they see like this I guess this mob of like haters coming through and they're just like attaching their opinions on it. It's like when you reignite an old conversation, you get a lot of new people that look at it and be like, oh yeah, she doesn't look like the girl in the game or this, that, and the third, right? And I'm not saying the first season wasn't successful. I just think it's a lot of new people that's entering this conversation that wasn't there before.
And that's also not a criticism that can go like it can. That's a conversation, a criticism that can stay a constant. Like she doesn't look like Ellie, and whether you
Pedro
watch the
Pascal
show
doesn't
or
look like
not.
Joel.
What?
He looks.
I
He
did
looks.
like
great.
Ellie.
A lot.
He looks more like
way
Joel.
No, he
He
don't.
looks more like
Pull
Joel
up-
than,
pull up
than,
Jo-
than Bella Ramsey looks like
But
Ellie.
he doesn't look like Joel. Joel's a white guy. Pedro Pascal is not white. So like, why isn't Pedro Pascal getting this heat?
Because he looks more like
because he's a-
Joel than
he
he does Ellie.
Because
There's
I don't think
a
that's the
there's
only
a
thing
threshold
to
of
as well.
there's a threshold of disbelief that the audience is able to like to suspend
Let's
when
break
it
it down
comes to
for him,
how
Dale.
how close a character needs
Military
close an
man.
actor needs to look to a character, and Pedro Pascal is within that threshold that people are willing to accept.
Mm-hmm.
Bella Ramsey is just slightly out of that threshold, and I think her performance helps her like get people to accept that this is the portrayal and this is the character. But it is something that is going to bother a lot of people who prefer their actors to look closer to the original character design.
And can I say one more thing? Because I
Purists.
want to finish my earlier opinion.
Like
Because I don't
me.
want people thinking that I just don't fuck with Bella Ramsey. Like at first I was saying she wasn't my Ellie. That is my Ellie at this point in time. Like Del was alluding to her performance. I think in that first season, just like it syncs so well, and it's so good with that with like the original game that I'm just like, okay, that's my girl. Like that's who it is. And I think that should be more of the conversation. Like, does she capture the essence of the character, right? And I think Pedro Pascal does. He captures the essence of Joel just so well that it's
perfect.
like it's crazy. But her looks, I believe, are so like
Not
no,
Ellie.
it's not Ellie that like it's just going to be.
Tommy doesn't look like Tommy, and Tommy's in that clip too.
I know, but Ellie's like
Tommy
she's
looks
Ellie's
nothing
the
like
girl,
Tommy,
but
and
Ellie's
no
the
one
girl.
cares.
Ellie's the girl.
Tommy-
though. Ellie
Tommy's
is the
not-
girl. Ellie is the
Yeah,
main character.
Tommy's not
of the story.
Tommy's
Tommy's
not
not a
a
main
crucial character. Yeah.
Yes, he
Ellie-
is.
Thank you.
He's
He's
an
not a
important
main
character.
character,
No.
no.
He's an important character.
He's not a
but
main
Ellie-
character.
Especially this season.
But you
He's
can't
not a
compare
main
Tommy
character.
to Ellie. Ellie is like the heart
No,
and the
because
soul of, like, the
if we're
Last of Us.
doing the
Ellie-
lookalike,
it's
if we're
Ellie
playing the
and Joel.
lookalike game, if we're doing the lookalike game, and you want every actor to look exactly like every character in the game,
That's not,
then
no.
that should apply to
That's
everything.
No.
That's not what.
No.
I don't even really want to defend those people, but I don't think that's like.
I think
that's
reasonable
just saying-
people.
I'm just saying, I
One at a
think
time,
it's like, you
please.
know,
Let's
Ellie
do
is-
one at a time.
I just think that there's a very blatant reason why Bella Ramsey is the one being targeted,
Mhm.
and no one wants to say it.
I don't think that's
What is-
true.
what
I
is the
disagree
reason?
with that.
Do I need
Go ahead,
to?
Luis.
People don't find her conventionally attractive.
I
Oh,
agree.
That's not what I thought he was gonna say. Holy shit.
I just think that's
I
all it
think-
is, truly.
I think
But
that's
go
a
ahead,
part
Del.
of it. I think that's a part of it. But I also think that there are reasonable audiences who are willing, like they understand that this is not like Last of Us is a fucking video game. They know that if they're going to recreate it in live action, that they're not going to be able to just find people that look exactly like these fictional characters. So they're willing to accept that some things aren't going to be one-to-one. For example, like I'm okay with like some of the side characters not looking perfectly like them as long as when I see the character, they behave like the character. But when they're talking to like the main characters, the characters I'm gonna see 90% of the way, like 90% of the story, like them looking like the characters more than the side characters matters more. So I think it's reasonable for people to be okay with Tommy not looking like his character and Ellie, um, you know, her wanting her to look more like the original character. So I don't think it's I think that's a part of it though, Luis. I think Bella's Ramsey specifically, like even if she looked different from Ellie, but she was still attractive, people probably would be more forgiving of it. But because and this does not have to do with my own personal opinions of how she looks. This is just like the conventional or like
Yeah.
opinion on her.
Mhm.
Um, that's just what
Sorry,
society is
they
built off of.
they use they them pronouns.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Thank you for
That's
that,
it.
Carl.
I think the whole situation is unfortunate. I don't like the dogpiling that's happening. I don't like the hater
I-
mob like mentality that's happening to Bella Ramsey right now. I think all of that shit is lame. I just felt like with some Twitter opinions, they can be a bit extreme. Like it's always like an extreme on one side or an extreme on the other. Like Joe was saying earlier, there are weird people that think that way, and
Yeah.
it is a pattern within gaming, especially with casting in gaming and in movies. Like this is something that
I
constantly happens. So I know
yeah.
that there are people there that are out there, and but I don't know. Those opinions kind of rub me the wrong way. Maybe me in particular, because I know at the beginning of like the whole process when we were seeing some of the trailers, when we were seeing the casting, I was like, damn, she don't really look like Ellie. Like I don't know how I feel about this, but I kind of
But-
softened up a bit when I watched like Game of Thrones and I saw like her appearance in that, and I'm like, okay, maybe I could see it a little bit here, like with her acting. Like I thought she was like, she was cool in that, and but yeah, maybe that's why like my whole opinion is a bit more adverse.
I just want to say, two things real quick. One, I'm not trying to be funny when I say this. Your opinion and how you came around is not the majority. Like,
Yeah.
it's not the majority.
You engaged with it in good faith.
Yeah, like you weren't like, that's why I said like you aren't one of the people that I'm talking about, because you weren't you were genuinely thinking from, you played The Last of Us, you played those games, and then like you're just like, all right, like seeing this, and like you said, this is when it first came out. You just seeing these clips, you're like, this doesn't really look like Ellie, but I mean, I guess I'll see when you watch it. And then you actually gave it a chance, and then you like you said, that's your Ellie now, because regardless of how she looks, she embodies the character for you. These people, regardless of like they have seen the first season or they haven't seen the first season, a lot of these people that are having these arguments are people that aren't going to watch the show regardless, because this Ellie is not attractive enough for them. And like, to go to my second point, and this is like kind of in the same realm but just different a little bit, and like how you brought up movie adaptations. One of the main things that I've been seeing regarding this Fantastic Four movie is Sue Storm. Niggas don't think she's attractive, and they've been like shitting on how much they don't think that she's attractive, saying Jessica Alba is so much better. Respectfully, Jessica Alba is also Hispanic or Latina. She's not a white woman. She had to dye her hair and get
Biracial. I think she's
context
I think she's Mexican and white.
Exactly, and she hated it, but they don't
for
care about that because they found her attractive.
She's fine
and
as
they're
fuck.
like,
I'm sorry.
This is my Sue
solidarity.
Storm.
I get
Like I'm not saying that she's not
I'm
attractive,
not
but my
biracial.
point is
God,
they're
God.
only getting on. They don't know what the Sue Storm is gonna do. They're just mad about the fact that she
You're
doesn't look
fucking
hot
sad,
enough,
Luis,
and
too.
especially compared to another live action that we've already seen. So to me, it all like kind of accumulates into the same thing of like they just don't find her attractive, and like, I'm not gonna say it as bluntly as she did, because like you said, that is like the way that she worded it, or whoever put that on Twitter. I do think that is a bit extreme and it is weird, but like the point is still very true. They don't find Ellie attractive, so they have an issue with it, and therefore they just write it off completely. And that's the thing that like I agree with that, and I just think it's weird.
I think it's
I just can't. I think those group of people exist, but I really don't feel like that's the majority, especially when a lot of people
On
that
Twitter,
are watching it are coming from the games.
Twitter,
Like,
not
I
the
think
majority.
because like I am one of those people that still have an issue that she doesn't look like Ellie. Like, sure, I think her acting is great, but like, yeah, a part of me still wishes that she looked more like Ellie. And to me, it's just like, it's just because like I don't think it's comparable, because like Sue Storm is like, that's her thing, right? People look at her and they're like, oh yeah, she's hot. Like, oh, and this Sue Storm, this new one, she might not be, but like Ellie's a child. It's just harder for me to like um see that most people would feel like that about a character playing a child, and
You
be
just
like,
learned the
"Oh,
world
well,
is full of
I'm
sickos,
sure
buddy.
everything." Maybe, but maybe
I mean,
not.
I think that's what's tough about these kind of conversations, especially on Twitter, and just like the bad faith rage bait posts that are on Twitter, because shit's not moderated. But like, how often have you seen, especially lately after shit like Stellar Blade came out, of like, oh, Western developer characters versus Eastern developer characters, and it's like literally like a child in a video game being compared to this like bubble butt, big titty, jiggle physics character, and they're like, this is why the East is winning. This is why Japan is winning. So it's like it's hard for me. It's hard for me to take these arguments in good faith, especially
never
when
seen
we're
that,
entering
I'll be honest
season.
with
You've never seen that?
It's out there. It's out there a lot.
What I seen was Aloy. I've seen them use Aloy as a
It's
model.
Aloy. Now
They
that
just
South of
did it
Midnight
with
was
the
coming
girl.
out,
Yeah, South of
they did it with
Midnight.
South of Midnight as
And
well, which
Emma
is good,
Frost
by the way.
from Marvel Rivals. Like they compared
Yeah.
both of them. So basically, they said
Yeah.
like this is why Marvel Rivals doing well. Like this
They
is
did
what
do that,
people
yeah.
want, and this is
And
what
then you
we
got
get.
fucking roach infested Asmongold going on Twitter on Twitch like the Gooners. You gotta appeal to the Gooners. People
Yeah.
want
Yes,
to
sir.
jerk
We
off while
name
they play the
dropping.
game.
Yes, sir. We name
Yeah,
dropping.
fucking-
I didn't know his
Marco,
teeth. I didn't know his teeth was that fucked up. Until
I'm
I saw
surprised he
that
still
video.
has teeth. But anyways, that's besides the point. I
We're
think
name
it's
dropping. I
it's
like that.
hard. It's hard to like. It's hard to engage with this kind of conversation in good faith because this is a show that we're entering its second season. If you have the opinion of you're not sure how to feel because she doesn't look like Ellie, there's an entire season of television you could go watch right now and form an opinion on whether or not you can look past the fact that they don't look like Ellie, right? The way that you did, the way that some of us in here did. So like the fact that we're still talking about this and season 2 is coming out,
It's crazy.
and that's it's telling me which side of the fence you're on.
Yeah.
Because we're only talking
fair.
about it because it came back up.
I feel like that's not fair. I feel like you can
That's
be
fair.
like, she's good enough to act. Like I
No
I
one's doing
accept
that.
this.
But that's
hold
a
on,
preference.
hold on,
At that point,
hold
it's a
on.
preference.
Yeah, but it's like I think you still be discontent. Like I still don't think she looks enough like Ellie, and that will always be a disconnect I have with this show.
And that's
But no
yeah,
one's
and that's
articulating
fine. And I'll
themselves
take
like
yeah.
that on Twitter. That's the problem.
Yeah.
I was talking
I'll
about
say-
like just I'm saying just a stance that I think is okay to take. I feel like
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I think that's
Yeah,
what
that is
Tab-
fine.
I think that's
Yeah,
the,
yeah,
like, the
that's
thing that
fine.
Tab is
That's
on.
fine. That's fine.
We're not
But-
saying you got to be like,
that's why
oh yeah, she looks like Ellie now, or even say that like it's her
Yeah.
acting is good enough for me to get past it. It's just
That's
the fact
fine.
that
Okay.
you're saying the issue is, oh yeah, she's trash. She doesn't look anything like Ellie. Like it's just like the constant bashing and the way that you are bashing the person. It like the way I know these words are formed from like a version of attraction. You don't have that attraction, and that's what your core issue is, and that's why you're so like mad about this topic. Like how you and Tevin are saying it. Like I can
That's
listen
fine.
to y'all because y'all are like y'all actually just saying it. Like I like the show. I think she is good as Ellie. Well, just because you haven't watched it, but like just like the devil's advocate that you're going for is like I like the show. I think she does do good as Ellie. I just don't think that she looks enough like Ellie. That's completely fine. But you like if I'm not even being funny. If you were up here being like, bruh, fuck her, she don't look shit like Ellie got, like that shit is just trash. Like I'd be like, Tev, what's going on? What's wrong? Like what's wrong? Like I would have to ask you like, why do you feel this way so strongly? And if I don't feel like it's anything of good faith, I would then have to question your morality on the situation.
No, that pretty much sums it up.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
While we're on the topic of video game adaptations, I think this would be a great time to
And
toss
I've
it
been
to
waiting.
yes.
I'm about
and
to cook
I've
those
been
stupid ass. I'm about to
Let's talk
cook
about
I'm
it.
waiting for
Let's
this.
talk
I'm
about
waiting
it.
for
Let's
this
talk
all
about
day.
it.
I'm waiting for this shit all day,
Yes.
all week.
Jackpot.
Yeah, let me just
Those stupid ass
stop
opinions.
Yeah,
talking.
jackpot.
Yeah, let me
This-
just stop talking and
This
toss
topic-
this right over
jackpot.
This
to
topic is
Josuke.
is the moderator's final boss. Kiana, good luck, because they're gonna spend
Come
a
on.
whole hour on this
Come
shit.
Yeah, you
on.
got Tevin versus Josuke.
The
You got Tevin versus
moderator's
Josuke.
final
That's a tough one.
That's
Yeah,
fucking
I'm
hilarious.
scared. But I will toss it over to Josuke, our Devil May Cry correspondent, and let him start this off for us.
Can I introduce
No,
this
no,
topic?
Tab, you shut the hell. You
Yeah,
can't.
go
You
ahead.
you
Go
wait
ahead,
one
Paul.
game.
Can I introduce this
No,
topic?
man,
Go ahead, Paul.
Wait. He can't be the Devil May Cry correspondent. Give that to Luis, because Josuke's not
okay.
certified, bruh.
I
He's not
only gave
certified.
him the
Fuck that
I
nigga,
only
man.
gave him the
And that's what that nigga,
corresponding.
Nobody disrespect me, gang. He
Fuck
didn't
that nigga,
even
man.
recognize no disrespect to Luis. He didn't even recognize the Devil May Cry 2 bitch. In the not bitch.
You
Who
think
the
that
fuck
you
is
think
this
that shit
girl?
matter? You think shit like that matter?
Luis,
Bro.
Luis, stop.
Hey, it's
Are we
going,
gonna
it's going
pretend?
Luis.
Are we
it's
gonna
going
act
Tevin,
like
and then Josuke
Shit
at the
Devil May
matters.
Cry
bottom?
2 is
Man,
Yo,
beloved?
Shit matters.
hey,
You wouldn't
hey
have
guys,
recognized
don't
if
we
you
have
hadn't just played
let's
it.
please introduce the topic, please.
All right.
God damn.
All right. How long is it's been like a what 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago, the Devil May Cry, the Adi
Yeah, about 2
Shinkar,
weeks.
yeah, the Adi Shinkar Devil May Cry anime hit Netflix, and to I guess mixed reactions depending on who you are. It seems like most of the general public liked it, and the
Hell
It's been renewed.
DMC fans, it got renewed. The people watched it, and people
Well,
do like it.
Well, hold on. Because you said renewed. How do we not know that it was already approved for 2 seasons just off top? Like this was already
Because that was announced about a week after it had premiered.
It came out.
So it was one of those things where they were waiting to see the viewership, and it did well. So it got a second season.
okay.
Yeah.
But it's been the discourse among like Devil May Cry fans has been interesting, and I think you know what, we'll get into it.
You playing this shit
But the
too
more
nice, my
the
nigga. I ain't
more
gonna lie.
I'm just introducing it. The more stuff that has come out about Adi Shinkar, the more that anime
not this,
is trash.
not
And we can talk
this,
about it. We can
not
talk about it.
this. This
Bro,
is not
I
introducing
mean-
the topic, by the way. This is not
Bro,
introducing the topic, by the way.
I'll introduce it. Fuck that. Look, Luis did a great
Oh,
job.
this
Respect to Luis.
You,
Look.
he's about to do an
us
even
watching
worse job of
DMC.
introducing
Yeah,
No,
look, watch
I'm
this
not.
alley-oop.
No, I'm not. Check
Watch
me
this
out.
alley-oop.
Check me out. No,
This-
because Kiana
this,
said I do
I'm about to
it.
alley-oop
One
it.
person-
The
I'm about to
one
moderator
per-
said I do it. The
Trying to
moderator said I do
Damn,
this
y'all
shit.
made
Let me do
fucking
this shit.
Dell. Go ahead.
God,
Look,
yeah, I knew this shit would
look,
happen,
man,
bro.
look,
Please.
man. Look, check me
I
out.
love it.
Look.
I love it.
Look,
I'll steer
but
the
us,
ship.
we all watched DMC together, and that has led to a conversation about adaptation. And I'll pass it over to Josuke.
Yeah, so basically, because we've talked about this a few times where like faithful adaptations versus like a kind of an original concept, and how often do a faithful adaptation happens in comparison to that. Look, man, let's keep it a buck. This Devil May Cry shit is trash. If you like this shit, I mean, good on you, bruh. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you just know shit about Devil May Cry, I can see you liking the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like a smooth little 6, 7 out of 10 type shit. But when you got somebody who's going to actively lie, I think it was February 25th, that he won't change shit about the series, or about he won't change it. Yeah, I won't change anything, and proceeds to change everything. I mean, hey man, you know, just enjoy the slop, as all everybody on Twitter tell you. Hey, just enjoy his different adaptation. No, look, dude, look. It has to resemble the fucking thing it comes from. Matter of fact, I'm gonna wait. Tev,
No. You go ahead. You go ahead.
I'm not-
You
I'm-
go ahead.
Yo, yo,
You go ahead.
I know
He
I'm
tried-
be
he
long.
said
I know.
wait.
No.
Tev.
No, I know I'm gonna be long-winded. So I don't have a. I want to make sure that
Oh, okay.
he gets whatever the
Okay,
fuck
okay.
he need to say out. Cause I'm about to. Go ahead.
Okay, this is easy. You know, I alluded to this earlier. You know, for me, like I enjoy it, man. Like I thought it was cool. Like what I came for was I wanted to see the cool animation. I wanted to see some of the characters I liked, and you know, that was it. And I feel like I got that. But
Okay.
I think shortly after I finished it, I definitely was like, I went to go check on things like what universes is in, is this canon, like and stuff like that. And that's when it kind of fell apart. You know, it was like I'm looking at Adi sent those tweets that Josuke was talking about he's not changing nothing, and he made some other tweets too. And that stuff is like, yeah, that sucks. So like if people have a problem with the show, like just based off of like what they said it would be and what it isn't, like I'm not mad at that. I think they're valid in that. And like, cause seeing that almost like turned me sour for a second. I'm looking at that, and then there's like this picture of him going to, I think it was an NBA game, and he's wearing the Dante outfit, and I'm like, what the fuck
Oh,
Yeah.
are
yeah.
you doing? Like,
That made
oh
me
no,
cringe.
like,
That made me
what
want to
are you
hate just
doing,
That was
bro?
WWE. He was
man.
at the WWE event.
Yeah, but like, I just enjoyed the show like outside of that, you know, and like he's not, of course, he's not perfect, but I'm looking at him like he's also looking at discourse. I seen Mighty Keith say that the show was trash, and he's in the comments asking like, "Yo, why do you think it's trash? Talk to me." You know, like
Well,
maybe he seems like he wants to take some of that and like maybe work it into season 2 or something like that. But like, yeah, I think I think it's fun. But I do understand why people would have problems with it.
Look,
What is
man.
Luis doing?
Look, I got to look,
Because
man.
I'm sorry, because you mentioned that he might be taking the feedback and putting it into season 2. How,
Full
brother?
of shit.
You would
Full
have
of
to
shit on that.
start at 0. The
No,
stuff
he
that
wouldn't.
is kind of yes, you do.
Yes,
No,
you.
he
There
Who
was
said they
there
don't?
is a
Kev?
minor
Did you
spoiler.
watch the fucking
But-
show? Did you watch the show? Look,
No, he
look,
wouldn't.
potential spoilers.
There-
Potential spoilers, man. Look,
there's no
how
way
the
you
fuck are they gonna rewrite?
don't spoil,
them
don't spoil it,
freezing
don't spoil. You said potential spoilers, and you were about to spoil the last scene of the show.
Niggas out to fucking spoil, bro.
Anyway,
Joe,
I
come
just-
back, Joe.
where
That boy
where
swimming.
you
That
can't
boy
Come
heated.
sit
you were
down.
about to say the last scene. I don't where the show goes. I don't know how you pivot off of that, but I'll say this. I think, like Josuke said, if you don't know anything about the games, I would say one huge positive is that people are interested in DMC. Like people that don't know anything about Devil May Cry, they're watching the anime, they're getting interested, they're going to see what games they could play. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if sales of Devil May Cry 5 go up. Like that's great, that's awesome. If you don't know anything about the anime, I can see how you watch this and think it's a bunch of fun, and you know, it's cool. I tried to look at it through both lenses, and as a Devil May Cry fan, it's like, why did you pick this property? Because the story you're trying to tell, it's not a bad one, but it's like, why this property? Usually, if you're begging and pleading for a specific IP, it's because the story you want to tell lends itself to that IP. And I think geopolitical politics and like the war on terror analogies DMC is not like the first thing that comes to mind, and that's what the show is doing. So it's so odd, but okay, put that to the side. Just watch the show and face value, like what are we getting? And you're getting a decent show that the more you think about the themes and the writing of the show, the more it starts to crumble of like what you're making analogies to and what characters we're supposed to like and what those characters now represent in this analogy that you are presenting. Like Lady is a piece of shit in this show. And I'm supposed to be rooting for Lady. And she's like a fucking war dog.
We gotta kill these fucking demons because this fucking bullshit with the fuck. And I'm like, what the, who
Like
wrote this shit?
I don't like
Who wrote
Lady.
this shit?
But then also the whole thing feels 10 times more disingenuous because I then go online and I see Adi Shankar at like a Trump rally or a Trump the presidential inauguration. It's like, dude, you've made a piece of media
And he
that is
gassed up
so
Asmongold.
critical, and he gassed up Asmongold. You who we'll talk about later, or never, probably on camera. You are creating a piece of media that is so critical of the U.S. government and military, and I go online and you're hanging out with the U.S. government.
Yeah.
Like, so why do I care about this? What is this for? Who is this for? I don't know. That's how I feel about it.
Also,
I
you're
wonder-
hanging out with the politicians and the U.S. government who are actively putting these people under duress. The people you are trying to like sort of represent in your show, like, and you're gonna like, dude, I saw Trump, man, that shit was kind of sick. What the fuck? But you also want to be super save everybody? Man, fuck you. Like, I don't get you. Like, fuck you, bro. You can't write worse shit. Call you a visionary. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Like
That-
visionary.
they call him a
on the
fucking visionary for
poster-
taking the
on the
IP and
poster-
ruining it.
On
How
the
fuck
poster
you
for
make you a
season,
visionary?
on the announcement for season 2 of Devil May Cry, it said from visionary Adi Shankar. Which way to stroke your own fucking ego?
there's one guy. There's one guy.
Can
in this
anyone
chat-
name
Hold
a-
up, hold up, hold
What has
up.
he
There's
done?
one guy.
I was
in
just
this
about
chat-
to. I was just
I'm
about
not
to
gonna
ask
name
anybody
him,
in
but-
here. Can anyone in
hold
here
up.
name another Adi Shankar thing?
He
Well,
worked
no,
on
hold
Castlevania.
up.
He did?
Hold up. Yeah,
But
he
as
did,
a
he did.
producer.
He stopped in 2019. But
I don't know
hold
what
up.
he did, but
There's this one guy, I'm not gonna name him, who was like, yeah, man, he made me like that for real. He played this shit, and then they about to rework that shit at the end because he just liked that. He just know what he fucking doing. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, like maybe he like that for real. You know, maybe he may change my mind. You know what he did? Fucking slop at the end. And there's this one motherfucker in this call who's going to defend it.
oh, brother, I'm sorry.
You're talking about the ending, right?
I'm sorry.
We're
I
talking
think
about
it's
the
cool.
Ending, the beginning.
We can't get
with
into
with
it.
with the you know I'm talking the beginning with the fucking
I'm
music.
sorry.
Oh,
He
jeez.
tried to
I'm
defend
sorry. I
that
think
Oh.
it's
bullshit.
cool.
Oh,
Look,
on hold up. On what day was this? April 10th.
Yeah,
can't
I
believe
don't
this
like how
happened.
Tevin is trying to portray
the fans quote unquote don't like it. Like the fans are the problem when you get a fucking series that people care about
That's
that's
a
been
lot to
around
infer from
for
some
fucking
quotes,
20
buddy. It's
years,
just a quote.
and you try to tell them that
It's just
oh
a
they're
quote.
fucking wrong for not liking it
I never said that.
when they
I
go.
never
You
said that.
heavily
I never
applied
said
it.
that.
You heavily
No,
applied
no,
it. You
no,
say
no,
the
no, 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 no,
fans
no,
don't like it.
no,
Like, we're the
no,
fucking
no,
problem.
no, no,
Then
no,
you
no,
go
no.
and you
You're
wait to
reading
see
in the
some
quotes.
shit.
You're reading in the quotes. No, no, no,
I'm
no, no.
reading
That's
into the
not.
quotes. You're
You're
not about
reading
to
in the
sit here.
quotes.
You know, you ain't about to put that shit on me. You're not about to.
ISO.
No,
No,
no.
bro.
You
No,
ain't about to be
no.
like, you ain't
Because
about to, hey,
I'm
go to
not
rock and
saying
like, oh
anything
shit, ain't
different
that,
now.
no.
No,
You
I'm
about
not
to
saying
turn shit
anything
up
different
now.
now
That's not
than
what
what I was
happened
saying
before.
before. When we came in here, I said that when we watched the show together, I said I could understand why people have their issues with the show. I understand why people have their issues with the show. I was responding to what Sean told me about what y'all said. That wasn't a criticism of the show, it was a criticism of something that was happening at that very moment. And that's what that argument was about. But I get the issues with like
Still a criticism.
I get the issue. I'm not saying I don't get the issue.
For
I get the
caring
issues.
about something that they have been consuming for 20 years.
That is not what he did. That is so disingenuous to say that.
Thank you. That's not what I did.
Disingenuous
That's
to
not
say
what
that.
I did.
That may be how you.
I don't know.
That's how you interpreted it. But that is not what
Y'all
he was
are speaking
that
bullshit.
is not
Y'all
what he
are
was doing.
chatting shit right now.
I'm not gonna let y'all
He's
do
not,
this.
he wasn't criticizing the fans for having
He just
issues.
said, why the hell would you put it in quotation? If he just said the fans don't like it, that's it. But he didn't do that.
Because
he
it's
said,
not all of the fans.
Don't
it's
like
not all of the fans. I've seen some fans that
that's
do
what
like
we're saying now. So that's what we're saying.
Brother.
We're trying, now we're saying, oh, it's not all the fans, just the fans.
When we came in here, I led with there are valid criticisms. I said that then, and I'm saying it now. I'm not saying anything different.
You can't rewrite history.
I'm not saying anything different.
What you said.
Say that. I get it. You know,
he just hates me.
You were upset and mad out of your fucking mind that maybe some of these things just aren't as clear as they were. But he did come in and he said, guys, there are things that people are saying that are valid.
That's damage control. That's damage control.
I just want to say, hold on real quick. He said this after y'all finished the show as well. He said that as well. Like after the show was over, Tevin said, I had like the criticisms that people have, I think are valid, but I like the show. He did say that after the show was over.
Since day
He
one.
literally did say that. I'm not even funny. He did.
I know
he
said that. Y'all aren't listening to what I'm saying. I know he said that. I'm saying that he's full of fucking shit. Because when you go and say the fans don't like it, and then da-da-da and all that shit we watch, you like, you know what? I get why people don't like it. Da-da. No, you're just trying to rock that shit back. Because at first you tried to very heavily imply that the fans care too much about the fucking shit. And like, oh, just fans don't like it. And it's like, no, it's not. Just like, oh, we don't like it because we don't like it. This shit has fucking mad issues. Then each other like, okay, well, y'all see the issues now. Man, you just wanted to be on bullshit. You just want to flip the shit and start discourse, get niggas mad, me, and then go and like, oh, now I'm gonna try to calm this shit down.
He wasn't trying to get niggas mad. He just came in there.
No, I came in there with an opinion.
I'm about to say, low key. I just want people to know, if y'all are ever watching like an adaptation of a show that you haven't seen like what it is adapting, do not watch it with super fans because your experience will be miserable.
That was your own fault.
Oh damn!
That was your own fault.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I'm not saying it in a way that their opinions are not valid. I'm not even saying it in a way that they were wrong for expressing how they felt. Because if I was in that position, it'd be hard for me to control like certain things that I'm seeing and I just don't fuck with. I get it. But my experience doing that whole show, I was rolling my eyes a lot, man, because I don't have any prior history with DMC. So like I'm looking at things and I'm just looking at it for an anime, like, is this anime good or not? Like, is like what are they doing? Certain things like that, right? And there were a lot of instances. There were some instances where I could see like the valid points of it and whatever. There were some instances where niggas was just complaining just to complain.
No, your
like
opinion
what?
don't fucking matter. No, your opinion don't
what?
fucking matter because you don't know shit. Why would you say
Niggas
that?
Wait. I want to know. I want to know. I want to know the
Joe.
example.
Joe,
They were complaining
What
about
example?
the
Sorry,
smallest shit. They were complaining
What
about the
example?
smallest shit, and it's like it may be valid to them, but to me, I'm looking. I'm like, damn. Like, can an anime just be an anime?
It is
sometimes,
just
like,
valid.
Can
You
niggas
don't
just
know
be
what you're
this or that?
talking about. Like,
Wait,
I
but
tell you,
what
I'm not saying,
example?
I'm not
those
saying,
small
I'm not
anime,
saying,
you
I'm
know
not
what
saying
you're
how you feel
consuming.
is invalid. I'm not saying how you feel is invalid. It's fine to feel how you feel. I'm just letting you know,
I'm
as a nigga that doesn't have that history, watching it with y'all was a pain in my ass. Because y'all niggas
First
were
off-
complaining every
first off,
5 fucking
That was
seconds.
your own fault. First off, that was your own fault.
That's
You
right.
you asked us to be there.
Hey, you're right.
That's
you're
your
right.
fault.
You're right.
'Cause
I'm just letting
Josuke-
niggas know.
Josuke
I'm letting niggas know
blatantly-
not to do it. Just don't do it.
But I'm letting the people watching this know. Josuke blatantly said, "I'm ready to hate on this shit," and you were like, "I'm watching it right now. You want to watch it together?"
Hey man, I love my
yourself up
friends.
for it.
I love my friends.
Oh,
What do you-
okay.
what do you want
Okay,
me to say?
okay, but you
I love
knew
my
what kind of
friends.
time you was
I
gonna be
love
there
my
on.
friends. That's fine.
Second off-
That's fine. But you know what?
Okay, but second off-
Let
I was
Louis say
expecting
his
the show
second
to be
point.
better. Sorry, I just want to say this. I was expecting the show to be better than what it was. I wasn't expecting it to be like that different from the actual game, right? I thought it was just going to be some things here and there, but I thought majority of the show was going to be like really good. And I still think the show is good. I have my opinions here and there, but I didn't think it was going to be what it was. So that's why I invited Josuke to watch. I'm like, yeah, he's going to watch this. He's going to be wrong because, you know, some things are probably going to click. Like Tevin is enjoying it. Like other people are saying that it's actually good. I didn't expect it to be what it was. Like, and for y'all to have so many like bases to nitpick and talk about this and complain about this and this, that, and the third. Like, the shit was hell. It was hell. Don't do it. Don't do it. Guys.
Maybe if it was fucking good.
What little
we wouldn't
details
have
were
said
you
anything.
like whatever?
Like the small details. You know the first one. I don't want to bring that up, but I felt like
Is
that
it the
was, like,
jackpot
Bring it up.
shit or
Bring
the
it up.
such
No,
a-
Is
bring
it,
it up.
wait,
No,
wait,
bring it
hold
up.
on, hold on.
The jack,
Is
no,
it the
I told you
jackpot
the
shit or
jackpot
other
shit was.
one?
I told you the jackpot shit was valid because when you were explaining it,
Okay.
I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah,
But
that would be like if Vinland Saga anime, Thorfinn kept saying every time he done with a fight, he was like, "I have no enemies."
don't do this. Don't
If
do
like
this.
every time
That
after
is
a
not
fight,
the
he was like,
same
"I have no
thing.
enemies."
That
Please
is not
clap.
the same
I
thing.
have no
That's
enemies.
definitely not the
okay,
same
have no
thing.
enemies.
Look,
That's funny though.
I understand where you come from. It wasn't a jackpot thing. To me, it
That was a
was
great
just
job.
The
more
music?
of like it was the music. I'm just like, bro, it's not that deep. Like
In
this
my-
portion right here,
okay.
because it's like, no. Let me ask you this. I really want to ask y'all this. Is DMC known for like using music in a way where it's
Yes.
like where they're like
Yes.
doing like big brain shit like that? Like they're known
No.
for that.
No.
No.
It's just that every
Go ahead,
character
go ahead.
has their song. Like
Every
Nero
character
has
has
his
a
song,
theme, right?
Dante has his
Yeah.
song,
Okay.
Virgil has his song.
Okay.
Like and those songs play at very specific moments in the game where it's supposed to be like a
Okay.
pop off. Like those songs play when it's going crazy. Devil Trigger plays for Nero
Think
when
hard, Dev.
shit is
Think
going
very
crazy.
hard.
Mhm.
Well,
Like when a very specific character moment for that character.
That's not true, but okay.
For the most part, is when
No,
the big Devil Trigger start because they'll play Devil Trigger the theme throughout, but then when the lyrics kick in, that's a big moment.
Oh, okay, that's what you mean. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So like, it's a big moment, and Devil Trigger is in this, but Nero is not.
Mm.
So the music is important to it. Like,
And I'm not
But
saying that music.
here-
isn't
here's the
important.
thing,
I
here's
just
the
thought
thing,
that y'all were
and
being
that-
a bit
and that's-
nitpicky in that moment.
no.
No, but that's
Okay,
just
but
so
that
much
was
to that
that
moment,
was
too.
a me. Yeah, there was a lot to that moment because that was me and Josuke having a moment of like, that's crazy that they played that song considering the context.
And I rolled mine.
And it was an offhand comment. And we moved on. And then Tevin joined. Yes, we did. We moved on. You brought it back around because Tevin joined, and you were like, "Man, Tevin, they in here mad as hell about the song choice." and then Tevin started doing his shit, and then it became a
Saying
bigger thing.
bullshit.
Originally,
saying
it was
bullshit.
literally just
I
me
just
going,
wanna
"That's
s-
crazy."
I just want to say, like, y'all moved on, yes, but it was not no brief, like,
It
oh
was not
yeah,
brief.
passing comment.
It was
and
enough
I
for
was
me.
literally
It was
at
enough
work,
for me
hold
to
on,
type out the
I was
Tevin
Y'all
and
are
tell me
at
chatting.
work listening.
I literally
was
said,
literally
yeah.
at work
I
listening.
literally said,
and
yeah,
I'm not,
that's it.
I swear I'm not.
That
Like,
was the whole
you-
reason I told him to pull
Luis
up.
and Jose,
Y'all were talking
y'all
that
was
shit for a
literally
minute.
jumping that boy Sean for being like, why is that such a big? I was listening the whole
Thank
time,
you.
and I was like,
Thank
damn,
you.
I
No,
can't
that was
unmute right now.
after.
I can,
That
no,
was
that
after.
no,
Luis
I,
was
no, I
flat
promise you,
like that
I promise. It was like
after,
it was like probably like
after, bro.
like less than 10 minutes, but it was more than 5 minutes. Like I swear to you, like y'all was going back and forth because he was like, why is
I
that
said
such a
something
big deal to y'all? And
yeah.
y'all was like literally getting upset, but then y'all did move on. And then when Tevin
He
came into
through.
the Discord,
So
it
you
did get
asked the
brought back up
question,
again.
we
But
answered
it
the
wasn't just like
question.
a
Okay.
oh yeah, that's something.
Okay.
And then we moved past it, and then it became bigger when Tevin came. Like nah.
I answered the
Y'all
question.
was niggas was mad when that shit first happened. I remember
But-
I remember
I
vividly.
said it. I said it as an offhanded comment. I don't remember Sean asking, but if he asked, then we just answered. It really wasn't a big thing until Tevin showed up.
Wasn't.
I mean, it wasn't a big thing. It wasn't a big thing until he showed up, but it was enough to be like, for me to be like, bro, like, come on, man.
I
Like,
literally said, that's the
I had to
song.
break my
Oh, it
silence because
sounds
y'all were like
different.
starting and doing this and that and saying like,
He was
Yeah,
like,
because that's
wait,
what he
he's
was saying. He was
this,
like,
da,
"Oh
da, da.
yeah, y'all acting like the fans, right?" Like that was how the whole thing came about because he was like, he didn't see it as that big of a deal, and then y'all was like I said, it wasn't like super long, like how the thing with Tevin came out to be. Like that was like a big discussion. Yeah, pause. But the initial conversation was like it was like almost 10 minutes for real.
Like I said before,
like y'all
don't let
going
Kingdom
OD.
Hearts get. Don't let
Going
Kingdom
OD
Hearts
about
get no adaptation. I don't want to hear
Look,
shit.
man,
I don't want to hear
I
nothing. I don't want to hear
what I
fucking
want
nothing.
you to do, no, what I want you to do is because you brought up a good conversation when bringing up this topic. Can you lend this conversation to the larger topic that you were talking to about faithful adaptation and game adaptation? Because that's what I really want to talk about, and I feel like we all be able.
All right.
Yeah.
Real quick, fuck Tevin. All right. Man,
sorry
hell
you
no.
feel
Hold
that
on.
way,
Before we swing back, I didn't even get all my shit up. That niggas could cut me off. Fuck that shit. That nigga brought up this shit with the music, and why that shit was so crucial was because Virgil.
Wait, spoilers.
Man, fuck that.
We can't
He
do
brought
it.
it up.
We can't do it.
They know. They
You gotta tiptoe. You gotta tiptoe around it. Hey,
Fuck it. Next thing.
No.
Fuck it then. I don't know how to do that.
we can't.
I'm not-
But
I
anyways,
don't know how to do that.
I'll
I know-
say
I know-
I'll
I
say
know the
this.
brief.
I'll bring this around. At what point? How much of the original thing can be lost before it's a bad adaptation? Like if the fundamentals of the thing are changed. We had this discussion or when the Joker was coming around and how much they were removing from Arthur Fleck and Harley Quinn, and like at what point are you just like, this is a whole nother thing? You should have just made a whole other thing if this is what you were gonna do.
There's another thing I want to say on top of that, where I do feel like being like a purist, like if you go on Twitter, like you're like, oh, you're a purist. I feel like it's like demonized, but I don't think that's necessarily an issue. And to go back to what we're talking about with original versus like a faithful adaptation, I feel like, and I said this before, like cinema people, like directors, and like I was like, for lack of a better term, like elitist movie people, be like, yeah, man, like we want like more original stuff, and like not just one-to-ones. But then I really thought about, I'm like, we don't really get anything close to a faithful one-to-one adaptation. We always get some original bullshit that changes a bunch of stuff that people don't like. And like, and I challenge you niggas to find some shit that's faithful. They's like, oh yeah, they just 90. I'll give it 90%.
300.
300.
I knew
90%.
Luis be able to like just clock it like that.
Whereas like
300 is a one-to-one adaptation that works. Watchmen is also a one-to-one adaptation, but it doesn't work.
Isn't Invincible a one-to-one adaptation?
Wait.
I was about
No,
Dell has entered the chat.
Invincible?
Invincible is
they changed a bunch of stuff, didn't they?
It's
Well,
a
they
one-to-one
kinda
adaptation, but
had
they
to
do
change-
expand upon things. Like
We
I
were
would
talking
say
more
it is close.
80%, by the way.
It's more it actually like it's a one-to-one adaptation, but then there's more content. So that's the thing. Like it's
So nothing
it,
in you would know because you read the comics.
like
Nothing
there
is like
there are
switched or
changes,
completely
like
removed.
there are changes, but they also happen at the same like okay, so there's a big change as far as like Amber is black in the show, but she's white in the comic. But Oh, and William isn't gay in the comics as
Mm.
well. But for the most part, like story-wise, the things that actually matter to the story for the most part are one-to-one adaptations, and then they just like give more detail for certain things. So I
Oh my
would say that's
God, get
close
that
to a faithful
DEI
adaptation.
out of my show.
This woke shit, this woke nonsense, Adam.
Like there's well, like it's a lot of little small things that like I guess if you want to say like, oh, it didn't like do this specific panel like one-to-one, like or like okay, so there was a storyline briefly of Amber dating William. Like of course that can't happen because William's gay. So like that's not gonna happen. But things that actually matter to the story, that's pretty one-to-one basically.
Now,
Like
what if
that,
they made an Invincible adaptation where Mark didn't know he was a Viltrumite and he never knew his father?
Can we not? Look,
I
I get it.
mean,
I get it. I
Would
get the
would
DMC.
you then be like, oh man, a lot of what makes Mark is no longer applicable here
And
because
Planet
that's a
Viltrum
big
wasn't
part of
ever a
his
planet.
character.
It was just a different place on Earth. It was never a
like
planet.
do you want my actual answer?
Yeah,
Yes.
Like I mean, I would have to see how the story was. If it was good, I fuck with it. Like now I'm not being funny. Like it's a comic book at the end of the day. Most comic books don't get a one-to-one adaptation. So if it's something that is coming from a comic and they tell the story and it still comes around in a like my favorite.
Right. I agree. So you're saying if it's compelling, if it makes a compelling change and it's written very compelling, I agree with that.
Yeah, like I'm not one of those.
I agree.
Like how Jessica was bringing up, like personally, and I'm not trying to be funny. I think purists should be demonized because if you want the one-to-one thing, go engage with the one-to-one adaptation of that. Like you
That's
have to
so
be,
disingenuous. That's so fucking.
hold on.
Dude,
My
that's so shit.
only critique of that
That's so
is
shit.
when
Shut
it
the
comes
fuck
to
up,
things
Sean.
like anime and you're trying to adapt that story specifically, and then you take that story and then tell it completely different. But like if you're just taking core elements from that story and then making your own story with those core elements, I'm fine with that. Don't try and tell a story and then change the story. That's wrong, I feel like. But if you're going to tell your own story, then yeah, tell your story.
I have like a response to that because I agree. Like if you make a drastic change, but you still make it compelling and you still are able to do something with the character that is interesting and enjoyable to watch, by all means, like cool. It gives me a reason to recommend both the source material and the new thing. If we bring it back around to DMC, there are character changes to that character, but nothing happens. That is the lady show. Dante is a side character. So when a change like that happens, and I'm watching the show,
Say something, Tevin. Say something.
and there's no focus.
Please.
There's no
Say
focus on the origin of the character that you changed. Then it's kind of bad. And I don't think the purist argument works there because maybe if you had made the change and something interesting came about it, I wouldn't be so upset about it. But nothing happened. Nothing about Dante. There's no focus on Dante. They mention a few things, but for the most part, this is Lady's show.
Yeah,
So I will
moved the
say,
plot
like,
forward,
I don't mind stuff being changed, but if you're gonna change it, I would imagine it's because you want to do something interesting with it.
And I'm also think I have my words kind of taken like and changed a little bit, but I don't think I spoke with it everybody, but I know I talked with Luis. I don't think it has to be 100% the same as we talked before, like with games. There's gameplay in certain spots, so it can't be 100% because gameplay is there. You're gonna have to add shit, and I don't have no problem with them adding shit that adds to it or doesn't necessarily change the flow of the story. But I think the solution a lot of times is always something very fucking different. Where I'm like, okay, now, not to go back to DNC, but use an example, like, okay, now Dante's a lot different. His origin or how he like learned certain things is a lot fucking different. The world around him's a lot fucking different. And it's just like, why can't you and you said like, oh, you can go back and play the games. That's some bullshit, dude. Because why wouldn't you not want to see DMC? Let's like, for example, DMC one in a highly like high fidelity, animated way where you see these things that you can't necessarily see how they are in the game. You get to see somebody put that vision from one of your favorite studios or whatever. Like you can see that shit. That's totally different than just go play the fucking game from the early 2000s. That's the same shit. It's
Or
like,
I think
come on, dude.
another side to that is kind of like I would have loved to have seen what Dante's all about in the games fleshed out in a show. Like we get cutscenes about Dante and like who his character is and how he interacts with the world based on who he is and who's he's related to. And that's an interesting story to see play out with an extended period of time. Like you get a show length with no gameplay in between to kind of flesh that out. And I thought that would have been cool to see.
I just want to say, and I know this is kind of unfair because of the amount of media that they get, but just to go to your point, Josuke, like I don't like if you change the origin and it's still a compelling story. I still am fine with that. And my example will be MCU Spider-Man. Like MCU Spider-Man doesn't really have any of the main Peter Parker core from the comic books. Like we can like infer a lot of things as far as like Uncle Ben and things like that. Like, but as far as him working with Tony Stark in the Avengers or him getting tech and using it in that way, like that's not that Peter is broke. Of course, like we eventually got to that point and like how we are at the end of the trilogy. Sorry, spoilers, I guess, for a 6 years old movie or whatever. But like, yeah, we got there. But the original, like, I love MCU Spider-Man as soon as he popped up on Civil War, and then all his movies, I love those too because to me, like, I didn't really care for the first two adaptations of live action Spider-Man. Not saying they're bad, but just for me personally, they never really felt like Peter Parker, even when a lot of them did keep those same core elements. But with this one, it felt like even though they didn't have the same upbringing, same origin story, same like whatever stories that you're telling, the core of Peter Parker was like, yeah, that Tom Holland, that's Spider-Man. Like when I see him, I know that is like Peter Parker Spider-Man every single time, regardless of the story that he's in. And I kind of I like that if you can do it well. So like, and I had the examples of when they do follow it closer to a 1-to-1 or trying to stay more like faithful to it, it's not as good to me. It still doesn't hold the same kind of weight. So that would be my counter to that. But I'm not saying that like it's inherently good or bad either way. I just am fine with seeing what some may do with that chance given the opportunity.
Mm.
I can't speak too much on DMC because I've only played a little bit of some of the games. So like whatever y'all saying about it, like I can only talk so much about it. I enjoyed the anime for what it was, but I don't know all the deep lore about DMC to have the same gripes that y'all do with that.
Yeah, and that kind of goes to my kind of goes back to I understand people want to kind of put their spin on things and their twists. I just but I was gonna go back to like something like a Halo or DMC or things that I really like and it's like, what if you got somebody who can actually execute? Because you said like, oh, you didn't like the first two, they had followed the story, but you didn't like the execution, right? So, but if you have somebody who can execute, why not just try to do something faithful that already has the bones? Where I feel like everybody wants to add in a new flair when it doesn't necessarily need it. And story wise, now if you want to do like different, now if you want to do your specific, cinematography, cameras, oh yeah, but this scene in the game, I want to take it from like this angle and shit like that. Cool, whatever, like or like, oh, this character coming from this side instead, because then that makes more sense with what I'm trying to do here. That's different. But when you add in all your flares, like, oh, what if this character was like this instead, and what if it orders like that, and then you do this for every little bit of like every little part, and then that was a completely different thing. And I'm like, why the hell would they change it? That's inconsequential. Why couldn't you just stick to the source?
Yeah. And I do think that sometimes it'll be that like filmmakers or whoever they want to make sometimes they do want to make an original story, and then executives or somebody would be like, hey, why don't that shit that you're writing, that's not gonna sell, no one knows what the fuck that is. But if we attach the Kool-Aid Man to it, that'll put butts in seats. Kiana gets that one. She's the only one that watched the studio. But like sometimes they just slap an IP onto it because it's recognizable. Like for example, the 10 Cloverfield Lane, that was never supposed to be a Cloverfield movie. It was like an original script. The dude presented it, and they were like, "This isn't gonna sell if we just put it out the door like this. Let's put the name 10 Cloverfield Lane on it." And it does create a certain expectation when you attach an IP to it, and then it's not kind of adhering to the spirit of said IP. But yeah, I think adaptation works best if you get someone that actually cares about, like, you look at the best examples of video game adaptation specifically, and you get the ones that come to mind is like Arcane and Cyberpunk, which those two are very successful for very similar reasons, and kind of different reasons. Like Arcane works because there's no set story to League of Legends. It's a bunch of characters and they all fight on a battleground. They all have their individual kind of lore, but that's constantly changing. So there's nothing concrete. So when you have something that vague, you could just take those characters and give them something concrete and well written, and it works. And then for something like Cyberpunk, it's like we're not gonna adapt V's story because that'd be crazy. What stories do you pick? It's too much. Well, why don't we just take a character and put them in that world, follow all the rules to that world, and then kind of see what happens. Tell a different story with those guidelines. So, yeah, I don't know. There's
Yeah,
stop adapting shit.
yeah, and to just
Stop doing it.
go back to like the overarching thing. Do y'all think this like question to everybody, specifically Dell and Tevin, because and Sean, because y'all haven't really said too much on it. Do y'all think that, well, I ask two questions. Do you think there need to be more faithful adaptations versus like an original kind of like changed work? And do you think there are much more original adaptations comparatively to faithful adaptations?
For me, when it comes to games, I think I'm fine with people doing what they want. Like I'm not fine with like them doing what they want under the illusion that they are doing with what's originally there. I think that's wrong. But like if you want to take the IP and do something original, I'm fine with that because like I really want those people like if I played the game, like keep that story in the game. Like usually it's like there's a reason it's that way. If they want to remake the game, that's fine, but I wouldn't want to watch an anime that is like DMC one story. Like I wouldn't want that. I would just want them to like give me some new tidbits. Give me something I don't know, something I haven't seen before, you know? Like that's kind of my preference.
Hmm.
I kind of to piggyback off of what Tevin said. I agree with that. I think it just heavily depends on what's the story that's being presented, and typically with adaptations of like manga or things that are like where the story is the main thing, um that's where like I would want it to be like if it's something that I love, I would want it to be faithful, but faithful in a way where you can add different elements of like directing, how you shoot certain things, how you draw certain scenes, like those things to be like the the more uh the more aspects that have like variety or whatever, right? But like if it's a game and my enjoyment from that game is not story based, it's not heavily story based, I'm not really complaining too much if, you know, a director or a writer decides to kind of take it off the rails and do their own thing with it, because typically those games are a bit empty when it comes to story, more so rich when I guess it comes to like characters and motives and stuff like that, and you can kind of shape that into whatever you want in a lot of ways. I don't know the DMC lore. I'm not really insinuating that. I don't have any understanding of DMC, but like it really just depends is what I'm trying to say on if it's story rich. But
Um,
yeah.
I would love to move on, but I will say just
Just
to
roll Sasuke. I'm fucking cracked. Sorry.
yeah.
Kiana Dell didn't he didn't give his opinion.
Yes, go ahead, Del. Please close us out.
Um, I'm really picky. Like it depends what it is, like Sean said. So if it's something that I'm very precious over, like I'd rather you almost never touch it, just because I'm very particular and like the way I attach to things makes me not like when people change things that may seem small to other people but big to me. But if it's something that either I'm familiar with or not familiar with at all, and you want to approach it in a different way, I'm cool with that because I don't have any attachment to it, and I'm open for you to like uh, do something better or different or just elevate it in a way. So it just like Sean said, it just depends on what it is.
Yeah. And I agree. Just sharing my thoughts. I think a good example of, I mean, this isn't a video game to a movie, but it's a book to a movie. I think the Dune books do a great job where it's not an exact one to one, but I think Denis understands like the source material, and I think studying the source material is really important if you are going to make those changes and not make it a one-to-one. And I know no one in here has seen it, but maybe a couple of you have been following it. But I feel like a great example of like not getting the vision there because you aren't following the source material is the It Ends With Us movie with Blake Lively. That whole situation going on with like her and Justin Baldoni and like that legal stuff.
I feel like you just wanted to
But
bring that up.
of course I did. I absolutely did. But it literally, as I was like reading the court documents and stuff, it literally was revealed that Blake didn't even read the book that for the movie that she starred in, and like all of the super mega fans of the book said that it was a huge miss on Blake's part. So
Okay.
Okay,
Sorry, I
I
just
have
thought about
a
something. Del,
no. Go ahead.
how did you, or Tevin too? Open to both of y'all. How did y'all feel about the Yakuza show? Let's talk about it, man. We're the purists.
Yeah.
It was trash. It was trash.
It was
But
god
why?
awful.
What? Why?
He's in Japan. He's in
Um,
the Yakuza. They're doing a new
No,
thing.
like I think that show is bad. Like it's just a bad show. Period. Like
Okay.
it's just
I
like
didn't watch it.
like as an adaptation, it's bad because Yakuza is so like it's story heavy. Like
Mhm.
it's mostly story. Like
Mhm.
it's so important that
No,
you get these things right. Yes, it is, Carl. Yes, it is.
No,
Carl.
it's not. I
It
spent like 10 hours playing with the RC
it did.
cars
Your
and
experience depends
bowling.
on the way you play it, but
That's so
Yeah.
if you I think no matter
Fun
how you
fucking.
play it, you're going to get a lot of story either way. So this is what Tevin is saying.
But do you don't you think that Yakuza is also something where even if you were to adapt the story of Yakuza 0 or 1 or whichever to a T, you would still lose a lot of the essence that is Yakuza because of the stuff surrounding it. Like if they don't do any of the goofy side quests, they don't have, Kiryu buying a porno mag for a kid. Like
I think there's ways to translate that to a show, and I think passionate and care about it or like have good ideas in order to translate those things.
Well,
Like
yeah.
like Tevin said, I think
are you having the Michael Jackson character in the show?
Oh, Miracle. Was it Miracle Johnson?
Miracle Johnson.
Yeah.
Like,
But it's interesting, right? Because it's like I think for them, to me, why the reason why I view them differently is really just because like I came to them looking for different things. I really just came to DMC like if the animation is good and if the plot is serviceable, if I'm in, I'm good. Because I really wasn't
I have a problem
even
with that.
expecting it. I wasn't even expecting it to be that. For Yakuza,
Yeah.
I came in there like, okay, they're actually, I don't know, we didn't know what they were doing. So as we were watching it, it looked like they were trying to adapt Zero, and so then it was like it's just all over the place. Like everything is different, and it's like I'm not getting any behind the scenes, so I don't know what the idea is. Apparently, there's
yeah.
no karaoke, but there's a video. There's a literal YouTube video of the dude doing karaoke, but it's not in the show. They just did it somewhere else, and it's like, okay, so you are trying to do this, and you know you missed the mark.
Remember
so
the thing,
it's
guys?
here, nigga,
Clap.
down.
You
I'm
saw
about to
it,
get
clap.
upset. But you're
Like
saying the
jackpot.
same thing.
Anyway.
You basically just said I care about Yakuza more than DMC. I had lower expectations for DMC because I didn't really care that much. I care more about Yakuza. Therefore,
I want to speak.
No,
I want to
that's
speak
not
to that.
true.
I could see. No, that's not what he said. He was expecting something different. Which, to that point, I will respond with. I think when the creator of the show goes on record and being like, "We're not changing anything, guys," that kind of sets an expectation for me of like, well, they're doing right by the source material. Like you told me, you gave me your word, and then when I get there, and within the first 15 minutes, you're changing something huge to fit this narrative that you want to tell, then it's like, all right, well,
but
is it a
even
nitpick at that point? Like you lied to me.
Like you said, it's a decent show, right? You said it's decent, right?
I said it's a decent show. I think its messaging got watered down because of who made it.
The Yakuza show is not decent.
It's just plain bad. Like
it's just bad on all levels.
What makes it bad? Like real shit.
Because we were watching it and I was like, Tevin, like I'm not gonna be able to watch this. And like Tevin usually kind of gives things the benefit of the doubt, like before kind of writing it off, but I'm more so like have less patience with it. Like it wasn't even a show that we can just watch and enjoy and like laugh at because it's bad. It was just like this is boring. Like I don't even know like what's happening, why they keep jumping from, past to present to future. I don't know, like what is the plot, like what is, like I don't know, like if they're trying to like adapt, his past and kind of like lead you up to the present or the future. Like I wasn't sure like what was happening. It was just very boring, and unengaging, unentertaining. And after that first episode, Ted was like, let's just come back just to say that we did it, and we never ever had any intention of
we didn't
watching
come
it.
back after those first 3. We did not come back. I didn't. I said I was going to finish it, but I never did.
But I'm saying y'all didn't like. Y'all said the plot was contrived, which is like not that very much different from what I was saying. But what is really bad about it's like the acting is bad. It's like the person who plays Kiryu, I assume it's Kiryu. Are they like a bad actor? It's like cinematography bad, like damn the camera work and shit. This is it. You don't look like Camarocho. Like what's up? Like
Because I understand what you're trying to get me to like.
no, I'm
like,
serious. Like I'm genuine. No, I'm being like genuine.
And
That boy
I have a lot of.
that boy
I have a,
I'm being dead ass
He
serious.
try-
No, I'm being genuine. No, I'm being
Well,
genuine.
Josuke likes Yakuza too.
To answer your question, I have a lot of issues with the show on its merit as a Yakuza adaptation. Like as a Yakuza adaptation, I have a lot of issues with it. And I could go down the list of all those issues are. But as just like a television show, it is not good. Like the first 3 episodes, you don't know where that show is going, what the story is, who like I wasn't even sure if it was following Kiryu or Nishiki. Like they jump around so or even like Yumi. I wasn't sure like who their main character was. Like it was so disconjointed and so unfocused. Like I wasn't sure like what are they adapting? Because I
It's like,
wasn't sure if it was Yakuza.
Yeah, like compared to DMC, which is competently made, Yakuza's just not. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So I mean,
That boy was trying to lead. That boy was
I
trying to look at
wasn't.
his
No, I
face.
wasn't. I
All
didn't.
right,
No,
man.
I didn't.
Hey,
I didn't like what Louise said. I didn't like what
Start
Louise
throwing
said.
balls.
I didn't. No, I didn't like what Louise said.
Why?
I'm gonna leave it because I know we
That
gotta keep going.
show is competently made. It's not incompetent. It has a story and it stays on track. Like you can
Yeah,
follow
but
it
I'm
from
saying,
episode to
but my
episode.
thing is, you kind of just took their word for it's incompetently made. Like how
Well, I
you
haven't
see
watched
Yakuza.
it.
That's what I'm saying though. So
watched
you just said that, and never mind. You just kind of gave it.
But I'll say
I
this:
mean, how can you press it?
if they watched if they watched the 2 shows and they finished one show and they didn't finish the other, I'm taking what they're saying for
But
what
there's
they're
2
saying.
different expectations there, too. But like
no, because I think if it's competently made, you could write it out. We've watched shit that's incompetently made, and we still wrote it out just because we watched The Idol.
We watched
we
them
did
all.
watch the idol. We did watch
Dell
the idol.
didn't. He left.
I watched. Oh no, I watched all of the Idol.
You did? Who left?
Mhm.
Who stopped watching? Someone stopped
We,
watching.
we watched all
Anyways,
the
go
idol.
on.
No, I never
It was
watched
a bad
it.
watch.
Oh, yeah, but like
Yeah, I haven't
I'll take
watched
the
it at
word
all.
for it. Maybe next week I'll come back and I love the Yakuza show, but I'll take their word for it right now.
Let's move
We can't say
on.
anything else. Yeah.
Yeah, let's move on. We have really
speaking
just
of
y'all
beat
get
this
away with
up.
some shit.
That was right.
speaking
That was right.
speaking of the East,
I knew it.
Y'all get away with some shit.
is
Yeah.
that what's next, Kiana?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you guys, do we want to touch on continue touching on our friends in the East pause, or do we want to wrap this up by talking about Jonathan Majors and his
Wow.
We
comeback?
did not even talk
I
about the
really
Jonathan
thought-
Major shit.
I was
Yeah,
shocked.
I really thought the Jonathan Majors thing was gonna be the main attraction. Honestly, I really did.
I didn't know we would get here.
I don't give a fuck about that shit. I'm talking about video games.
Hey man,
Nah.
this
I was about to say, come on,
experiment in
now we got the
progress.
Sonic guy on here.
The one topic isn't. I mean, it's not gonna be that long, right?
Asian women say the
Man.
N word. It is what it is.
That's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
yeah,
I'm
I mean-
surprised that
Diva
that's even
Demon.
on the list.
Diva Diva.
Yeah,
I can't. I don't feel equipped to talk about this.
What the
I
Jonathan
mean, it's
Majors
it's
thing?
just Asian women saying the N word.
Yeah, I don't think that's much of a topic.
That was more so
No,
like
I don't know.
if it was supposed to be like more like filler, like we run through a list of things at the end, but we kind of filled up the document.
But yeah, y'all
We got
filled.
Pause.
Pause.
Real quick.
okay.
I mean, we
That-
might as well
I
go
did
2
wanna talk
hours.
about that.
We
Real
can
quick.
go 15 more minutes, like
We
15,
can't.
20 more minutes.
Del has to
Yeah.
leave soon.
It's fine. I don't even know if I'm still going at this point because I'm not getting a response from this person. But go ahead,
Real quick,
Okay.
extra Emily, we know
Okay,
you
that was
said nigga,
vague.
bro.
We know this
Stop
person
lying.
means.
Stop
brother.
pretending you didn't say it.
No.
Just stand on it. It would have been fine. But now you saying you didn't say it, and it's proof that you said it before. Like you corny and you lame.
Who are you
So
talking
just
about?
extra Emily.
Extra Emily.
Oh my god. Oh
Oh.
god.
Oh,
Oh, we lost the moderator. Oh, hell, better break loose.
No. Oh no.
That's funny. That. Oh,
Kiana,
man.
like, I don't even know what topic we're on. I'm out this bitch.
really.
But
Is extra,
I mean,
extra
but,
Emily is the girl that's in the news right now for running that
That-
red light?
Yeah.
For what?
For running
Yeah,
that
she
red
was
light
was
the
on
camera.
stream. She was on stream, and then she was driving, and then she flipped her camera, and she was like, "These lights be taking too long," and drove through a red light.
That's
That was her.
hilarious.
I knew
That's
she was
hilarious.
garbage, bro. I knew she was garbage.
yeah.
That was
10
her.
out of 10
Okay,
rage.
come
bait.
on, man. Like, I don't be running through red lights. That's some dickhead shit to do. That's some dangerous shit to do.
Yeah,
That's
that's
extremely
that's
dangerous.
dangerous. I don't like to
I'm
live.
not about to look at that and be like, oh my gosh, she's the worst person ever.
Oh
Da, da,
no,
da,
I'm
da,
looking at
know?
you away if you went
I'm
out of
looking
your
at
way.
you.
to,
Yeah,
I'm looking at you
yeah,
horribly.
it's
You
just
could
more
kill a
evidence.
family, bro. You could kill a family by doing shit.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
not,
just more
not
evidence.
only that, you
This
went
is
out
true.
of your
This is
way
true.
to show us that you're doing this fucking bad thing.
How should I get banned for that? What?
Yeah, I'm
I
surprised
think
she
you're
didn't
She
because
did get banned. She did get
you're not
banned.
supposed
oh,
to
she
get
did.
banned.
I didn't. Yeah, I didn't hear about it.
Yeah.
You're not
'cause, yeah,
supposed
usually,
to stream and like
I
you're not
saw it
supposed
on
to
Twitter.
have.
Supposed to stream and
I got
drive
the
anyways.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you can have it on, but you can't touch the camera yourself. You have to have both hands on the wheel or whatever like that.
yeah,
Once you
you know,
don't,
yeah.
then
Twitch don't be playing about like
yeah.
cars and streaming. Like,
So this
what's
Yeah.
his name? Jack Doherty. That's
Oh,
the
yeah.
one, right?
Oh,
That
my
got in the car
God.
accident.
Oh, the
He
guy.
crashed his
Fucking
Yeah,
McLaren.
idiot,
yeah.
man.
They don't be
Fucking
playing about that,
idiot.
bruh. They don't play about that.
Is
at
that the
all.
guy? Is that the guy that like starts shit with people and then gets
Yeah.
his bodyguard involved?
Yeah,
I
I
think
don't
so.
like that. I don't like that content of like Twitch, Kick.
Yeah, he
Tweet,
just he
whatever. I
whatever
don't
he
like
do,
that
he a
shit.
dickhead. I just know he a dickhead.
Yeah.
I love we name dropping. Yes, sir. Fuck Jack Doherty.
let's
Fuck Asmongold.
We
I
got
can't
Keanu.
stand
We
that
got
nigga,
Keanu
bro.
back.
You
She's
gotta
on
cut
mute.
that.
I'm
You
not
gotta cut
Sorry,
sure.
that.
I'm not sure.
Even the
if she's-
implication, you gotta cut that shit out.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
Quick
Real
topic
quick.
for this one. We don't
Are we
have to
picking
spend
back
much
up?
time on this one. Yeah, we're talking about the Asian girl on TikTok
Okay.
singing these hip hop songs. With the N-word in it.
Why?
I just wanted to bring it up as just some bullshit to see like what niggas' opinions are on it, because what I think is interesting, and I'm gonna play the video, is that she has a following on TikTok. She gets like a shit ton of likes on a lot of her posts, and it's just kind of viewed as like the video of the white man singing "Give a Nigga a Break," or like that one video of the lady singing the song like "I Want to Be Ninja," right? Like it's kind of starting to get in that like bubble of like
That's
this is
different. That's
this
different.
is like
That's
this
cringe.
is clearly racist. This is like it's like clearly racist. It's clearly like some weird shit, but nobody seems to give a fuck. And I'm not saying you have to give a fuck, but like, why are people like kind of championing it? Like I've like seen some of these comments, and they're like, "Oh, like yeah."
I'll wait till after
Wait.
the video to say my piece.
Well,
I'll wait
Yeah,
till
what
after
this-
that.
yeah. I have a question about this too. I'll
Okay.
wait.
Okay,
All right, so let's play the video here.
It's finna get nasty. I'm already knowing.
Can y'all hear it?
you
Yes.
She wanna hop in a
This is
Rari.
so fucking weird, bro.
She wanna hop in a Rari.
Yeah, she on her Halsey.
She wanna hop in a Rari. I see that look in your eyes. She wanna hop in a ride. I see that you're ready to die.
Oh, this is not even one I
see that
saw.
you're ready
This is
to
hard,
die.
bruh.
They telling me that I'm bully. I'm Edison, made it fully. They say that I'm acting like healer, but how am I acting like healer when I'm a fucking nigga?
That's crazy.
They telling me get up a Twitter.
You see how she looking at the camera when she said that?
She knows what she's doing.
That was
She knows what she's doing.
insane.
She said,
Wait.
I'm not even looking at
Wait.
the video, bro.
Wait,
she
this
moved
is
her
a
head.
wait,
Moved her
wait,
head
wait,
like,
you
who's
bust
gonna
that
stop me?
wait. Wait.
Drop that.
She really just
Wait.
checked y'all. She said, "Who's gonna
Wait.
stop me?"
The first time I watched this, I was like, I don't care about this. And watching it back and watching her look at the camera as she said
Wait,
that, I was like, okay,
yeah,
It's
nah,
fucking nuts.
we need 10 minutes on this at least 10 minutes.
It's nuts.
What is she
It's
doing?
nuts.
He
What is she
said-
doing?
I just don't
Nah.
understand. I don't understand like I don't want to
Yes,
say
you
get
do.
away with it because people have free will. They can do whatever the fuck they want. I just don't understand why this has attention. Like, why is this
know
a-
why
No,
people
hold
are
on,
gassing
real
this
quick.
up. You know,
It's a very simple explanation. Niggas love race play. Niggas love cuckold
No, I
race
didn't think he
play
was gonna say
shit.
that.
Oh shit.
It's literally just a fact. It's a fact. It's niggas just like that's why like
Oh,
it's on
shit.
both sides. It's on both sides. Like I promise you, I swear to you, go
Listen.
to random colleges and ask niggas ask how many niggas spank on white girls respectfully, and then ask how many of them ask them to call them the N-word. Ask that white girl to call them the
Donald
N-word
Glover
during
has a whole bit on a
like
whole
it's
stand-up bit
literally
on it.
like they feed off of that. I don't know what it is. I don't know
Oh,
what
I know what
sick
you're talking
weird shit that is,
funny
but
business.
niggas just love him, especially if they can get that white girl to call him the hard R.
Yeah.
He's like they love that. They love that race
I mean,
play.
there's another
I-
dynamic to this.
like
There's another
slave
dynamic
master,
to this
slave,
too, though.
like
Niggas
It's
is
because
it's
she's
so
kawaii.
weird.
It's
Shit,
because
Yeah,
she's
I'm about to
flying off
kawaii.
say,
in
I'm
their
about to say,
brains.
it's like,
Like it's
that's
so
like,
many like bruh that they love that race play
I
like
love that shit, bro.
it's
cutesy
because
looking.
it's because she's Southeast Asian, dude. Like that's a big piece of it. I think that's fetishized like heavily. And I think she's got away with that because of that. Like
I just think they
it would be
think it's funny.
disingenuous. Nah, that's disingenuous as fuck. I feel
No,
like
no. I'm not. How many? Like, I think it's a evolution of those photoshopped memes where they put some kawaii anime character around a bunch of gang members and shit,
this is
and
the
they're like,
first one.
"This is tough." You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what
Yeah,
you're talking
yeah.
about, but
Yeah.
Like, I think it's an evolution of that. Of like, look
Mhm.
at this kawaii girl doing this shit she's not supposed to do, and she don't even know it. But she looked
Shit.
like she knew in
No,
that
she
video.
looked like she
She
knew.
knew in that
She
video.
looked like she
She
knew.
knows what she-
To me it's a lot
there's
of race
taking a
play
lot of
because
agency from her, man.
I do agree that her being Asian plays a part in it, but bro, she could be a
Absolutely
white
does.
girl doing the same thing, and I promise you, a lot of people would still fuck with it because I've
I
seen
don't
it
think-
happen.
Is it because they
I
find
don't
it
think
like,
I don't
like
think they're
cutesy?
getting away with
Is
it.
a
I
cutesy
wish
type
Yes,
of
they
I
humor?
would
are,
get away with it
bro.
as
Like
much,
you know,
as
hold on,
much,
just
as
real quick,
One
much.
at a
you
time,
know,
please.
you know how many like okay, so we
I gotta find
like
this lady.
taking out like the big extremes, like the Bad Babies and the Alabama Bakers. Like, bro, you know how many random white girls we see go viral every year or so because they're just rapping a rap song. Like, bro, they
Mhm.
just love that race play shit. They literally it's something that feeds into the niggas that's like, oh man, this shit is so hard. Like they're just feeding into like, oh, you're tough enough to say that, or like, oh wow, like you'll really go there, or like that's just attract. Like I genuinely don't understand what it is. I'm trying to get some realization, like just some form of understanding, but when I see it, it's just like the niggas just are attracted to that weird shit. It's like, yeah,
We aren't
they're
prejudiced, by
they're
the way.
saying like they're bold enough to say
Viewers.
the N-word and they can feed off of that. That shit is weird to me. Like
Mm.
that's what it all comes down to. Like, yeah, you can get into, oh yeah, she's
People
Southeast
watch.
Asian, so they have more of like a draw to that as well, a more appeal to a wider audience, whatever. Bro, I promise you, Becky, motherfucking Hillary, goddamn, all of them, they can say that shit. They can record themselves on TikTok. And like some people, yeah, a lot of people, especially, well, if they're older, then yeah, it's less of a draw. But if they're younger, bro, a lot of them little kids is gonna feed into that shit. Like you're
Yeah.
gonna get those people that go to Twitter and be like, bro, let's get this racist girl out of here, try to dox her, this, that, and the third. But if she stays in her core niche audience, it's gonna be a lot of
Niche
black people that
audience.
like it's gonna be a lot of black people that like that
That's
shit. It
gonna
really
fuck- that's gonna
is.
fuck with that.
I don't
Is it just the
think I don't
cute,
think the
like-
white girl's getting away with it as much as
No, I
like
don't
this
think so.
girl's gonna get away with that shit.
I
Like,
agree with that. I think I see what Joe is saying, but I agree with Josuke with that. Like, if a white girl is out there spewing that, there's gonna be a lot more people that's gonna be like ingrained to be like, no, you need to stop. Especially a white American girl to be like, no, you need to stop that.
Yeah.
But I do think her being Asian kind of plays a part into why this is just like, this is just being like pushed out the door.
Kawaii Asian, as
You know,
Luis
and it's
put
like
it.
I
I
guess
think
it's
Luis
cute,
put it
like
best.
way, yeah, like you know. So I see what y'all saying. I think I probably would lead more to like what Luis was saying and what Josuke was saying with that. But I think what Joe is also saying is very valid. Like there are niggas out there that like fawn for that shit. Like that's their shit. That shit, you know what I'm saying? That moves them. That's what they need in their life.
I think
Ain't that right,
I think
Dale?
this is all right.
Oh,
That's crazy.
Oh,
That's
you
nuts. That's nuts. On pod is crazy.
No, bro,
That's
it's a
crazy.
joke. It's a joke. It's a
Oh,
joke.
oh,
It's a joke. It's a
You
joke.
know
what?
It's a joke.
Don't strike his ass, Dell, right now.
It's a
That's
joke.
crazy.
Dell, don't do it to me. Dell, don't do it to me. Dell, don't do it
Send
to
the
me.
Jets.
Don't worry. Hey, Del
I
compartmentalize that
It's a
and
joke.
remember it for later, because you're gonna get
Press the
we
button.
gonna get this nigga.
It's a joke.
this
Come on,
is
it's a
this is the
metaphor.
only
Come on,
chance.
what we doing?
This is
Uh,
the only chance I
metaphor.
will get to champion this Russian lady on TikTok that does this without saying the N word. And the whole thing is that she is learning English through rap. So she's like rapping it. She's rapping King Von and shit.
This is so
I hate
bootleg.
Louise.
Nah, I don't know about that one.
I hate
This
Louise.
I don't know
this
about that
such a
one.
dad thing. You're
That's
such a
true.
dad.
I don't know
She's
about that one.
killing that shit. Like she's
You're
doing
such
it.
a
She
dad.
like
Hey,
breaks it
Louise.
down.
Hey
I
guys,
hate
look.
I don't know.
See?
She's doing it.
See?
Yeah.
Look, she's doing it, and she's not saying the N word.
She's
I
doing
don't
it.
know. Shouldn't we champion that?
No.
To my
Bro,
knowledge.
look, bro. If Kendrick can invite a girl on stage and have her say the N word,
He kicked her
Um,
out.
Oh god.
Stop it.
One of those- one
look,
of
That's
those-
a
for me-
crazy way to say that, because you're saying that as though she had a sign that was like, "I'll say the N word," and Kendrick was like, "You, perfect."
Listen, for me, it really is like about the attention, bro. Like, if this was just a regular video of her singing a song, I wouldn't really care. But like the fact that she is looking at me specifically, like you, yeah,
She
you,
said,
nigga.
"Nigger."
Like, what are you gonna do about it? Like, what?
That's crazy.
No, bro.
That is
No,
crazy.
you must be stopped.
You
Somebody
must
gotta
be
stop her.
stopped.
You gotta get her out of here, man.
And I
Somebody
mean,
had-
I'll say to Luis's point about the Russian lady learning English through rap music and skipping the word, I'm not even going to champion that because we're just too far in
Mm-hmm.
where y'all know y'all shouldn't be
Pause.
saying it. So it's like, great, cool, here's your cookie that you are skipping it. But at the same time, it's like globally, y'all know that's a word y'all cannot say. So I'm not gonna like, what is it? Award a fish for swimming or whatever.
Mhm.
Like, it's just I'm very much past that point.
Mm.
That's just Miss Moderator. But yeah, I just disgusting.
That was crazy. That was insane.
It was crazy.
Yeah, that's not,
Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy.
Also, I feel like the people in the TikTok comments, there's a bunch of white kids like egging this on.
it's some niggas in there.
How you know?
Like, so you'd be surprised, man.
Hey,
You'd
man,
be surprised.
you can click on profiles pretty quickly. And
You'd be
profile
surprised,
pictures.
bro.
How you know that?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are trying to just like it's like a weird attempt to kind of like bridge the races in the way, and I think young people don't understand that you don't have to allow racism like or crazy shit like that to like bridge the races and
Yeah,
shit
that,
like
that is
But
another thing.
even when I was younger, like to that point, like even when I was younger, I didn't have a full concept, right? Like, you know, some things are wrong and some things are like inherently right. But then there's this weird gray area of like what you should allow and what you shouldn't allow. And even times back then when I was younger, I know for a fact, like the way that I viewed the world isn't like how I view it now. I probably let some shit slide that like I didn't
That boy
think
is
was
kept
cool.
up. That boy would not let any white friend that we had in middle school or high school say the N word. That boy is kept up.
No. But I had my friend who was like he's
Name
Asian.
dropping.
He's
I
Asian.
swear.
I remember.
To
I'm
beat that
saying,
out.
he's
You don't have to beat that out.
anyways. I'm not gonna say anything bad about him, but like he was like kind of and I'm using this word. He liked the way that I dressed. He liked the way that I like did certain things because like it was like a specific style. I'm a nigga, you know what I'm saying? Like the way that I presented myself. He liked a lot of that shit, and he wanted to imitate it so bad. And he would like come up and just like ask like a bunch of questions, like, "Oh, I
humble
wanna do this.
brag.
I want to do that." No, it's just like different cultures like mashing or whatever.
Boy was been
But,
clean. I told y'all.
Like during those times, like I would try to get him to say
Ridiculous
certain
flex.
words that like he probably didn't want to or need to say, and he wouldn't say them. But it was like, you know, trying to like egg them on to do certain shit like that. Nowadays, I wouldn't do no shit like that. I wouldn't put nobody in that compromising position. It's like, you know,
Wait, what?
That's not
What?
true. You
What's
egg me
happening
on.
right now?
I
You
don't.
egg me on every other day.
You said what? No,
What?
I don't egg you on. No, I
try
don't
to
egg
get
you
me to
on.
say
No,
it
I don't.
every
other
I
day.
don't try to get you to
And I
say
stick
it.
to my principles.
This
hold
is
on.
I'm a
Wait,
real
crazy
ally.
revision.
I don't
Yeah,
ask.
yeah,
No,
this is
I don't
bad. Yeah,
ask
you're
him
right,
to
bro.
say it.
Great.
I don't
Rewriting
ask him to
history.
say it. It's a joke of me saying, "Luis, did you say it?" Oh no, Luis said it. I be the nigga that be like, no, I don't want Luis to say it. Y'all be like, if Luis said it, I'm not going.
Oh, don't
I'm
put that
like,
on
what?
everybody. Don't put that on
Yes.
I say that.
everybody.
I'm gonna use my government.
Yes,
True,
yes.
that-
I get
that'll
what
be-
I get what y'all are saying. I get what y'all are saying. It's a difference. With Luis, I
I'll say
joke and I'll be like, did he say it? Or like,
I
oh
don't
my
know
God,
who Luis is.
said it. He
Carl.
actually said the word. And I'll be like, oh
Carl.
Luis, what did you say? Oh, did you do that?
Carl.
I don't be like, oh
Who's
Luis,
Luis?
you got the nigga pass.
Carl.
Like you got the pass.
This
You
man
can say
can't
it. I
hear.
don't do that. I don't do that. Tell me one time I did it. Y'all give me a time I ever said he got the nigga
That's
pass.
bad
And you can say it.
faith. That's bad faith.
That's real shit though. I'm not lying. Nobody here
I-
can say that.
I was literally just
that's
joking.
not true.
We can move on from this.
Not true.
Yeah, let's move forward. Let's move off this.
I'm
We
being
got one more
Um,
topic, I guess.
Yes, the final topic here, Jonathan Majors. Um okay, guys, this is a loaded conversation. Let's get into, well, there's a couple things to unpack here. The first thing is he was supposed to appear on Keke Palmer's podcast. And she put out some promo for it and of course got a lot of pushback for it. Keke also got some pushback where they were saying that she enables abusers, inciting like this, as well as her support of R. Kelly in the past. So we can unpack that, as well as just Jonathan Majors, period. Can he return? Is he hopping on these black networks because he needs to lean on the black community? There's a lot to unpack here. Who wants to?
Man,
I'll toss it to
I-
Tevin to start us
yes,
off.
I do. I really want to start here because, like,
I'm sorry, Young X Chaos to start us off.
Chill out.
I am so,
Chill out.
I'm so like
Thanks,
conflicted
Simon.
about how I feel about what's going on. Because, like, on one hand, it's like the Keke Palmer thing to me. That's literally nothing. That clip that's going around. It's like, it's embarrassing. It's just a regular clip. Like,
It
there's
is.
nothing being said crazy or anything like that. Um, and like it's Jonathan Majors. I think he's a good actor. I think he got blackballed for the wrong reasons. I think watching that clip of him running from his girlfriend, it's like, come on, guys, like look at what's happening here. Like he got blackballed for that, and it's like, of course I want to stand with him, but then on the other hand, there's the older clip that's coming out of him talking about how he choked that girl or something like that, or whatever he said.
Aggressed. The word is
Aggra-
aggressed.
He said he aggressed, but he actually said what he did. It wasn't just like aggressed. He said he did something. I can't remember what it was. I'm pretty sure he said he choked her. But
She said, yeah, I'm about to say, she said, you choked me, you did that. And he was like, yes, that's all a part of aggressed. He didn't say the specific she did. He like adhered to what she was saying by saying, yes, that's all a part
yeah,
of
but
aggressed.
but him agreeing to that means that he did choke her.
Yeah.
So I'm not with that. Like that's not like sure you when it came to the person you're currently in a legal battle with, like that's crazy. But
Mhm.
this is crazy too. And so for people to just him to go to the Breakfast Club and then to just be like, hey, that they get you on that old stuff, and it's like, wait, what? What are you talking about? He did that old stuff.
Mhm.
So it what are we what like so it's like on one hand I'm so confused because like I want to like this guy, I want to be successful.
Mhm.
On the other hand, I'm like, damn, like he did that shit. Like he might not have did the original thing, but he did do this. So like I don't know what to feel, honestly.
How do you handle something like that? Like, and anybody can answer this because, like, we know Chris Brown is like not the he doesn't have the greatest track record, right? I'm looking at you, Luis. I'm looking at you, Luis. But he did something. He was in a relationship that was very much, I guess, it was like in turmoil. It wasn't a healthy one. There's evidence out there that both of them were like hitting on each other and doing these things, and he claimed that he was provoked. He has a whole documentary on it. Blah blah blah. Right. So do we apply that type of mindset to this situation? Like what is y'all's mindset on those type of relationships and like those people, right? Like the girl and the boy, the woman and the man. And do we apply that type of mindset here? Or is this like more of a situation where it's just seemingly Jonathan Majors is abusing this woman and she wasn't provoking him, she wasn't putting her hands on him, like these type of things. Like how do we handle that?
Man,
Uh,
I know we hate Chris in here. Um But man, I just think it's like Chris was young. They both was doing it. He he paid his debt to society for it. I can't remember how and what way, but he did something. Like it
He
was
went,
legally recognized that he paid his debt to society for it.
he
All
didn't
the
go
other
to
stuff
jail for
is.
that, right? Did he go to jail
No, I
for
don't
that
think he went to
or
jail,
something
but I
else?
think he definitely had to go to anger management. And maybe he got like what is it called? Litter pickup or something like that. Yeah,
Oh,
he didn't
community
get off.
service.
Oh
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. And he didn't get off scot free. His career took a big hit too.
Mm,
Um, I just think the thing that's different here is like he's being blackballed for something he didn't do, but now people are ignoring the things he did do
mm,
in order to like just take one side, you know?
mm,
Um, I guess for my opinion is uh this is gonna be kind of tough to navigate, but she like we going back to what you were saying is like, oh, on the recording she said that he said yes, that's under arrest, right?
yeah.
And just to give a little bit of benefit of doubt to Jonathan Majors, like to have said before, I really like Jonathan Majors wanted to be successful, and she had the propensity to lie before. I'm not saying that he didn't do it, but I do y'all think the degree of I guess the degree of the aggressing like matters.
Mm.
Uh,
Well, yeah, yeah, no. Um,
Yes.
eh, yes, if like it's like they're
'cause-
going through it. She's like putting her hands on him or something like that, and he has to grab her to calm her down or some shit like that, right?
yeah,
Like, and then she's
because
screaming like bloody murder
Well,
or
that's
whatever.
not aggress.
That's different. Yeah,
I
that's different.
That's
That's different.
defense.
But it's like all a part of like in an aggressive like situation. But if we're talking like him unprovoked, and by unprovoked,
mm,
like words don't count in my opinion. Words do not count. Unprovoked, putting his hands on her, like it doesn't matter like what you try to say. That's like a no. It's like nah, you don't do that. That don't make sense to me. It don't matter like if you got upset or like in that one video where he said like if I told you to shut up, do you think it's okay for you to keep talking? That shit, none of that like is valid. None of that is valid. So it's like
we
nah, you
think it's
don't put your
wise
hands
for
on a
you to
woman,
keep
bro. Like
talking.
that's not cool. That's not cool. So yeah, no.
Yeah, yeah. The reason I asked that real quick and then let Joe get to his point was that like we only kind of got like I don't want to be that I don't want to act like I defend abuse and all that. I don't fuck with that shit. But we got my thing is we get somebody who already shown a high capability to lie, and we got one thing like, well, you did this to me, and then he was like, yes, whatever. And when you're like, and I'm not gonna put y'all bits on Jump Street, but I'm pretty sure y'all know people who's like been in those situations where you would just be like, yes, whatever, like it happened, like whatever, just to, like let shit kind of like go.
Mm,
Like they just kind of agree to shit, even though it lacks the nuance, but they're just kind of like I've been dealing with it for so long, like just like I don't care no more, whatever.
mm,
And that's just to say like we don't know what happened before that,
mm,
which
mm,
could have led to the which like I'm not saying he's big as shit. I'm not saying he ever should put hands on her. Period. Um, you know, I don't agree with that shit. He's not even not like size is the only thing that matters, but I think you do have to take into
mm,
account,
Pause.
especially it's in the pause that like he is like much bigger than average human. Pause. Like so, it's like, bro, it's not laughing, bro. It's real shit. So it's
I know,
like,
man.
so it's like, like I do think like that's when he said like, oh, he like choked her, right? I don't know if there was anything came out like, oh, there was like there was strangulation, like
Yeah, apparently
hand
she
strangulation around like,
had like marks and like some what they call lacerations like behind her ear. Like there were some things that came out. But I was dealing
okay,
with the situation with the car thing. Um yeah, I don't know. Like I think there's also a side of it to where you look at like if you're trying to collect evidence against somebody that is abusing you, the system is weird where like to like file I think to claim like either domestic abuse or something like that you have to file like certain things like prior like there has to be like evidence of like prior things happening to you for it to be taken serious or whatever the case is. So like even if like in the one situation where it was being determined if he was abusing her or not, even if that one situation she had to do a bit of lying, a bit of stretching the truth in that one situation. If she was being abused before, that's like a factor of like, well, damn, I don't have any evidence of like me being abused before and these things actually happening. So I kind of have to stretch the truth in this situation just to see if it fits within the reins of him being like charged for this in particular. That's like also a thing. So when you look at it from both sides, it's like it's hard to, because like I see your side too as well. Like yeah, like some people can kind of get pushed into, you know, believing this thing. Like if someone does something after they've been provoked, and they say like, oh, you're a bad person for hitting me back, and like they don't like handle that well, like telling that person, well, you did this to me, you did this, they can kind of be self-deprecating in a way and be like, yeah, I did that, da 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 da. That can also be a thing. But it's the lack of evidence, and I don't really want to like try to weigh on it too hard because I just don't know. And I don't fault people for taking the believe women side, but I went to go see Magazine Dreams. It's a good movie.
Believe victims. Not necessarily would believe victims. I think would be the more apt.
What do you mean?
Like you said, believe women, and I think a more apt way to say it would be
by
believe.
saying victims. Well, no, I'm making it specific to women. I'm making it specific to women. I said what I meant because I understand what you're saying to try to like make it a large general thing, but in the context of like domestic abuse and rape and all of these other things, we know who the larger portion of those things are happening to. So like I want to make that more specific, like believe women, you know, in those situations. But I understand what you're saying. I do agree. Believe.
So how do, I guess, to kind of segue, I know this job the moderator, but shit, how do y'all feel about the whole Keke Palmer thing?
I think it's weird. Why is she getting why are they doing the R. Kelly thing? Right? Like when there is like she wrote like a whole paragraph of information like condemning everything, detailing her relationship with R. Kelly, how hurt she was when the Surviving R. Kelly stuff came out. Like there is evidence of her like, I don't want to say atoning, but saying like, oh, I got it wrong, I'm hurt. She had a personal relationship with him. She was like, I didn't think that he was capable of doing these things. Like, but seeing it all,
he's
like,
already okay.
She didn't say that specific. Don't quote me word for word. Don't quote me word for word because she didn't say I didn't think he was capable of that. Don't quote me on that. But she was alluding to like she had her own relationship, and it was like her relationship with him was like more so like blocking out all of the things that were surrounding him, and it was like personal, whatever. You can.
But I don't know why people bring that. Why do people bring that stuff up in times like that? That's what I just never understand. Is like, let's use. I mean, we're talking about R. Kelly, and Keke Palmer. Let's use Diddy as an example. Diddy is about to be on trial for A to Z alleged disgusting things. What use of what benefit would it be if Dell came out and was like, I know Diddy. I did not have that kind of relationship with Diddy. What is the end goal for that? I don't understand what you gain or what the purpose is saying that when there is a doc coming out with proof that he is grooming, raping, and kidnapping women. Why you need to come out?
She wasn't saying she knew R. Kelly. I didn't. Are you saying like her saying like I know R. Kelly? I didn't know he was capable of that. Like, what's the point of her?
Yeah. What is the purpose of doing that? And I'm not saying that
to clear her name, to be like, oh, I wasn't aware that he was doing these things, and like she had there was a video of her like sitting on R. Kelly's lap, and like when all of this stuff started circling around, you know what people do? They like to start to point fingers at all the celebrities that were hanging around them, saying like, "Hey, he's this disgusting sick person. That? Why are you with this person? Why are you da 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 da?" And that's when a couple of celebrities, they come out and try to explain themselves and be like, "Well, I mean, I was at a Diddy party. I didn't know they was getting down like that. I mean, it's like one of those things." And I think in that situation, it was one of those things where she went through a list of it because she had a supposed like real relationship with R. Kelly, and she was hurt, disgusted, and all of these other things. I think it's like, I brought that up because I think it's just weird to like bring up the R. Kelly situation when this one is different in this whole thing, but I guess like it works for people's narrative to say that she's like enabling abusers and stuff. But I just feel like things can't be, nothing's like really nuanced with these conversations. Like I said earlier, everything's the one extreme or the other. So it's like she has to be an enabler or you know, whatever the other extreme is.
Mm.
I just think it's weird.
I think it's completely relevant if you're using it to establish a pattern of of the thing you just said. If my thing is that Keke Palmer is, what did you say she was? What's the word?
An enabler.
Enabling.
And if I'm saying she's an enabler, and my evidence is she's enabling Jonathan Majors by giving him this platform, and she enabled R. Kelly by doing whatever she did there, I think they're definitely related, and it definitely, there's nothing wrong with bringing either one up and relating them to like that statement. Isn't it supporting evidence?
I agree with that portion. I was saying like it's like it just feels like the people that are doing that and they go and they reach for that, it feels like they live on one side of like an extreme and don't like consider the nuance of like, hey, she posted, there's a whole thing about like when the Surviving R. Kelly doc came out, she was not down with that. Like she was saying, you know, explaining her relationship, this, that, and the third. And to bring that up, but without the context of that too as well, just like I just don't, I guess I don't like it, you know. But I don't know these people, like, but I don't know. Yeah, I just think it's a bit weird.
I want to broaden this a bit and ask a pretty controversial question. Maybe, what do we feel like? Should we be giving people a second chance who were rightfully canceled and did something egregious? We are all Black and or people of color in this group, and obviously I'm trying to think of like an example for Latinos, but someone I can think of off the top of my head who I feel like was successfully canceled was Sabrina Claudio. And she's just now kind of starting to pop back up, but it's like every chance that she's released music, she has just gotten like reshat on every single time. Sabrina Claudio, she's an R&B singer. She got canceled a couple years ago because she's Cuban.
That's probably why we
She's
took enough.
Yeah, she's Cuban. I didn't want to use her as an example, but
Yep.
it's Carl.
Luis is shaking his head over there.
It's Carl. I didn't want to use that as an example. But that was the only thing I could think of off the top of my head. But she got canceled a few years back because they had found some tweets when she was like 16, 17, 18 of her just saying some really, really scary, weird things about Black women and Black men, like the fetishizing Black men and just like really shitting on Black women and talking about Black women's features. It was just really gross. And it's like she has tried to release music several times and it doesn't really hit like that. Because people kind of hash her canceling. Same thing we're seeing with Jonathan Majors. Same thing over
Was
and
she
over
on
again.
like that?
She was about
She was
to
about
take
to be.
off.
She was
Did
about to
Camila
be, yeah.
Cabello get canceled?
No, she
No,
didn't.
everyone just
Well,
hates her.
okay, she just got
She put
passed
out
off
a
scot free.
She's just
She put out
annoying.
a bad album.
Okay.
Yeah, people
put out a
just
bad
don't
album.
like her. Yeah.
I thought Camila Cabello did like they brought back the racist stuff she was saying about Black people.
They did, but
They did.
it doesn't stick.
But
Yeah,
then
Okay,
she
yeah.
dropped the song with Cardi, and then no one cared anymore.
What
Yeah,
about the
but
Well, no,
EBGB
they
play?
did care. They cared, but the music was just bad, and so that was overshadowing everything else. People do not
Yeah.
like her music now.
I think people does. I think not everybody. It depends on the offense. 100%. There's certain things that I believe that you cannot come back.
Well, let
from.
me finish the example.
Oh, okay.
Again, I was trying to, match it to everyone's like race and ethnicity. So that's why Sabrina Claudio is a bit of more of like a mild scale, but I mean, still crazy nonetheless. But again, seeing it with Chris Brown, Jonathan Majors, Daniel Caesar, if we want to keep it on like verbal canceling, but Brad Pitt is a great example. Oscar, he won an
white.
Oscar. Yes, I know. That's why I'm bringing it up. It's like we see white people uplifting questionable people in Hollywood and they get that support from their peers, but we're not seeing the same thing on our end. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
I mean, I
Should we
won't
be
say
lifting
that.
up?
Oh,
They tried to cancel Kevin Hart before, didn't they? And then he got
but he
he
cheated
got
on
away
his
from
wife.
that.
Yeah, you
wasn't
can't
like-
cancel nobody for
it's like
cheating.
cheating.
They well,
I
except
mean, you
except
can't.
for Tiger
They
Woods.
try to get Tiger
Except
Woods.
for
out
Tiger
of
Woods
there.
got-
Yeah,
They
except
got
for Tiger
Woods up
Woods.
out of there.
Yeah, Tiger
I
Woods
like
is the
in
only.
retrospect, that shit was
But
crazy.
that's because he was married to a white woman. That's the caveat.
That's
Black
true,
man
yeah.
married to a black woman, cheating does not matter.
Mm-mm.
Black man
Okay.
married to a white woman, cheating matters more than murder. Remember that. That's fact.
I don't want to make it
But
seem like. Oh,
All right.
go ahead, my bad.
I was about to say, to your point, Kiana, I think it's like a double-edged sword kind of thing. As far as like, yeah, as far as like, because they love to say it, and it's very true. Black people are not a monolith, but like you want to hold Black people accountable because you want to have a certain standard as far as role model that you have looking up to. With that being said, I think that that same mentality can turn into crabs in a bucket, where any small small minor offense can afford you like the loss of that opportunity, whatever it may be, and no deem for remediation. And I think that's where we as like a people can tend to like over. I don't want to. I guess the only word is overreact. Just because like I don't know, it's like a holier than thou. Like, and I'm not saying all of them do it, but it's just like I'm better than you because I'm perfect, and they can maintain that image more so than others, regardless of how true that may be. So I like, yes, I'm not mad that we hold others accountable, especially the ones that actually have done true offenses. But I feel like it can start getting into muddy territory where any simple mistake, especially for somebody that's like actively growing, you completely write them off and just deem them that like label whatever it may be, and that's where you start getting into real like just bad territory in general. I just yeah, it's a very like it's a slippery slope, and it happens very quickly, like without you even realizing it.
Yeah. I think
I'm trying to think of who has been canceled and who like deserves, quote unquote, deserves to come back. I can't really think of somebody who's like minorly canceled currently.
I
I
think
don't.
Daniel Caesar is minor, right?
Who?
Daniel Caesar.
Yeah. Well, he definitely got canceled. His career took a hit over.
He was successfully canceled.
What did he
No,
do? I don't remember
I
the
think
Daniel Caesar thing.
He
defended a
he
white girl.
defended Yes Jules.
Yeah,
Oh,
just
yeah.
just Jules was saying the N word, and he was defending her, saying that.
They got that nigga out of here. But low key,
yeah.
I think that
Nah,
the canceling
people
of
don't
people don't
people
really
don't
like.
fuck with him. People don't fuck with him,
He's
but he was on Tyler's album.
yeah,
No,
like
what
I don't
it
really
is
know what.
is like
it's
But
it's
been a
people
long
viewed that as
time.
like a
affecting
grand
sales.
return,
It's
though.
affecting sales. It's affecting because his
That
trajectory
shit
at
not
that.
affecting his
Bro,
bag, bro.
I don't know. Look at
He
the.
I
was
don't.
supposed to
I,
be the
Okay,
next
let's
Frank
talk
Ocean.
about
That's
somebody
hold on,
who
hold on.
did
I just want to
affect.
say, I
Let's
just
talk
want to say,
about the
Luis,
baby.
Luis,
Let's talk
One at
about
a
the
I just
time,
want to
baby.
say
please.
real quick. Luis, that's like saying it didn't affect Jonathan Majors because he's still getting movies, but like he actually has been like he's been blackballed, and he used to be in Marvel. It's like Daniel Caesar, not saying he's like Marvel level, but like he was
He had
going
the
on a
biggest
trajectory
song on the
to
planet.
where he could be
No,
way
he
bigger.
didn't though.
He
The album
was.
that came
He
out.
did.
No, the album that
People
came
love
out.
that. People
The
still
album
to this
that
day
came.
love Daniel Caesar's voice, and are like, if he didn't get canceled, I would like Daniel Caesar. If he
I see
wasn't
that a
like this,
lot.
that, and third, like I would like his music a lot more
People
because
have
That
a
I
good
can
album,
sing.
trajectory
that
where he was
album
about to
came
be.
out. That album came out after his cancellation, and it did fine. He's been featured on a bunch of like hit songs on
I
people's
think
albums. Like,
he's definitely still
What are you
successful.
What are you
He's still
talking about?
successful, but there is a level of success
still
that I
successful.
feel
we're,
like
talk,
he
we're
was
talking.
finna touch,
Yeah,
and it impacted
exactly.
his career. Like it
He was
100%
going
impacted
where
his
he
career.
would have been, and where he is now is a big drop off from
Yeah, that's
where he was.
Yeah,
And I guess
just because people
that's how
still like him doesn't mean
I stopped
that.
hearing about Daniel Caesar after that shit. I only like I would hear
Yeah,
about him
cancel.
like
Also, I
kinda
do want to
that shit happened. I
provide
stopped hearing about him.
Freudian came out in 2017. I believe the Yes Jules situation was like 2018 or after this album. I
Yeah,
yeah,
want to
people
give us
say
the
didn't like,
facts.
and people didn't care about
Give us the
Freudian all that
facts.
much.
Give us the
It's
facts
mine.
because Luis is
I
talking.
remember
Mic
people
working.
loving.
Because
I
Carl is
remember
talking.
People
people
love
I
Freudian.
just I think to go to the larger part of the conversation, people are redeemable. Yes, I think a large portion of like celebrities or entertainers, what can be the determining factor is someone.
Oh yeah, no, he
in-
did. He did.
Someone in that industry taking a chance on you, and if they take a chance on you, whatever work that you come out with is so good that people just can't deny, like, you know what I'm saying, your talent or your greatness. Because a lot of people get away with a lot of shit, like, especially celebrities. I think we
Yeah,
like to maybe think like it's like not as nuanced
Camila
as what it
Cabello is a
is.
great example.
It's so many different, like, bro, for God's sake, like, if we want to bring up the weirdest shit, R. Kelly got away with peeing on a young girl, and he
Yeah,
was
our
still having
parents,
like a successful career after that.
our
It honestly,
So
parents knew
wait,
what
real
was
quick,
going
real
on.
quick, real quick, real quick, real quick.
Hmm.
So how can you say that and then in the on the other hand be like, yeah, what Keke Palmer's doing and what they're doing to Keke Palmer is weird. When she had a relationship with him and that stuff was like big, it's publicized. I feel like you don't
mm-hmm,
know R. Kelly if you don't you know you might not know R. Kelly, but you know he did that
mm-hmm,
and you know that that's been taped. And
mm-hmm.
how does she have that? And then like how does she get away without any criticism from you for that?
She was young, and I know that sounds like a cop out, but like when you're like not being funny, Tevin, I don't know how you grew up, but did like your whole life, even since you were young, did you dislike R. Kelly?
I never liked R. Kelly.
You like you personally, or like was that a family thing?
It's a me thing for sure.
So growing up in a family that probably will listen to and likes R. Kelly, you wanting to be in music and an entertainer, just like and he like respect to him, like he can write a song and he can sing. Like he's a terrible person, don't get me wrong, but like he's pretty talented in that world, in that realm, and what he does. So just seeing that, growing up with that, and wanting to be in that same realm, and then you get afforded the opportunity, and then you yourself personally never experienced that side of him that abuses or sexually assaults like young girls. You only see this like mythical like figure that you have grown up to idolize. So it's
You
hard
start to
for you
think
to
to
like
yourself,
let go of that just
"Ain't
because
no way
like
he could do that."
people are saying these things until you actually see it for yourself and you're like, oh wow, like that was actually fucked up. I can't believe like this person that I thought was devoid of at least certain wrongdoings is doing the worst. Like
It's
I have
kind
to
of
read like
similar. Not to cut you off, Joe, I'm so sorry, but it's kind of similar to the Quiet on Set Nickelodeon doc. I can't remember what actor. It was a black actor that they interviewed on there, and they said that he had said that his mom like was stuck to him like glue.
Yeah.
Like, and he was like, I think he had said that his mom had heard of or was aware of some of the things going on, and she was like glued to him for that reason. So I kind of agree with you a bit, Joe, where it's like parents are aware of what is going on. People are aware of what's going on. I just think when there's opportunity and your child has that chance to do something, I just think it gets, real slippery and you just have to, I don't know.
I think to Tevin's point, because he asked me that question. That question is like, I kind of look at it as a way to be like, okay, someone who obviously has like this power balance over this individual, and to Joe's point, like her being so young, getting into the entertainment business, and maybe meeting R. Kelly whenever she met him, and looking at these things and knowing him in the personal way that she knew him. Like she might have looked at it and been like, "There's no way he's capable of doing these things," or whatever the case is. The idea is that you know when I was just saying, like, I just think it's weird for people to look at the R. Kelly situation and in this one, where it was like she clearly condemned all the things that came out about him and all these other things, and some people took her word for it. I guess some people didn't, but to just start pulling at that situation and not include the nuance surrounding it, I think it's like, all right. I don't know. I guess I find it weird, but I see your point though. Like, because people could look at that and be like, "Oh, that's doesn't mean anything now since you have Jonathan Majors on your podcast or your show." But yeah, just to sum it all, I do think people are redeemable. I think people the deciding factor that makes people redeemable or not is if you start releasing some undeniable shit in the entertainment business, and if people can kind of start picking up on maybe the good things that you're doing or who you are as an individual. But it definitely matters, like what you do, your status, who you are. It is very nuanced. It really is. Like it's very nuanced.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think of. I still can't think of anybody who like was canceled and deserves to be uncanceled or whatever. And I do think it like is nuance of if you even are deserving of it, I guess. But like, if you were to ask me right now today, do I think Jonathan Major should be able to redeem himself? I would tell you yes. Um, and I think that's where I fall on that kind of shit. And with Keke Palmer and that whole thing, kind of just piggybacking off kind of like what Tevin said before, and not to like go back too much on it, but I do think people are right in raising eyebrows and having opinions on it.
I wonder what
But do
Dell thinks
y'all?
about this. Oh, sorry, Joe.
I was wanted to know, do y'all feel like Jonathan Majors deserves to go on like a redemption tour, or he needs to like sit in cancellation?
It's tough. I don't support domestic violence.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think because of how nuanced the industry is, I hate seeing people being able to express their artistry for doing the same in if not worse things. So I hate that it's like we pick and choose who to cancel because I think he's a phenomenal actor. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah, it's tough.
I do
Oh,
think it's a little weird, like, and then y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. I could be misremembering things, but I feel like Jonathan Major's situation heavily mirrors Johnny Depp, and then like Johnny Depp was being like applauded online, uh, despite also doing similar like things.
That's what I was
To
gonna bring up, but I tried to avoid it.
No, it's not.
I
It's
would,
not the same at all.
you think
I
so? You
No,
think
it's
so?
not because Johnny Depp. Um, are you sure it's Johnny Depp that you're talking about?
With Amber Heard, wasn't that Johnny
Yeah,
Depp?
yeah.
Yeah.
The Johnny Depp situation was he got canceled already. Like he wasn't getting work because of stuff that came out, and he was already viewed a certain way. And then information started coming out retroactively that was like, oh, hey, this wasn't correct.
I was
Oh,
just
hey,
talking
this
about the
wasn't.
abuse part. I was just talking about
But
like,
but it's like I can't look at that singularly because like that whole situation and the Jonathan Major situation is so different that it's like he like Johnny Depp had already been through the shits of like him getting canceled and like it impacting his work and all of this other shit and you know him losing his deal or whatever with Disney and shit like that. He like there had been a decent amount of time since all of that shit happened, and then stuff started coming out retroactively. Like it wasn't just like, oh, this shit is happening and now we have to listen to what Johnny Depp has to say and da 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 da. And even with the Amber Heard situation, I think there is some stuff like even though I think she lied about some things or whatever the situation is, it doesn't inherently make Johnny Depp a good person or better. But it is interesting that you know years later, when the trial started happening, and I guess how ridiculous the trial was, it just kind of lended itself to like being like, oh, she's a fucking liar. Oh, she's crazy. Oh, da 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 da. So I don't know.
I think it is somewhat similar. Not entirely, because like you said, Johnny did get canceled, but I think the difference is even after the trial, um, like Jonathan Majors was found innocent on almost everything except for the breaking of the finger, which happened when he was leaving the car as he was running away. And I understand the video that came out. I'm not trying to dispute that or anything. My point with that, and I guess this would make me seem like a bad person, but we just don't have enough context on that video. I mean on that recording, in my like opinion, because given how the situation has panned out regarding these two and the actual evidence that we have from both sides with the court dealing, like she initiates a lot of things and he's trying to remove himself from the situation in like a form of, I get, not like in defense, but like not even always like putting his hands on her, but like defending himself, and therefore him just being bigger, he like is just stronger than her, so it can affect her being smaller than him. So when I think about all those things, it's just hard for me to just condemn him ultimately when there's so much evidence against it. And like I'm not one to just excuse black people. but I'm pretty pro black in terms of things. So I try to look at things. I do look at things a bit biasly at times, but I feel like in this situation, just given all the evidence, and I know Tevin brought it up like at the very beginning and like somewhat jokingly, but maybe he was serious. But like dead ass, we saw him get out of that car and run for blocks to like avoid any form of real confrontation like with her. When I see things like that, to me personally, I think that like that showcases that he has had the restraint, and this is a recurring thing. Like this isn't that's not the first time that that's happened where he's had to remove himself for a situation where he knows he will be compromised regardless of the outcome that happens. Like yes, it's fight or flight, but like that's a thing for a reason. And I think that being his natural instinct of flight, I think that is a natural instinct to where he's not trying to like hurt her or abuse her in layman's terms, but maybe is defense, but just man versus woman, especially in this regard, white woman versus black man, the narrative is just kind of already painted, and it is worse for him as a black man. Like I think because even now, as we said, like or as I brought up, like he was found innocent on a lot of those things. That does not matter to anybody. He was found guilty on one charge
And
or
she was
something.
proven to be a liar too.
Like he was found innocent. I mean, he was found guilty on like one or two things, which was the smaller offense, which is why he's able to be out in the world and he's not handling any jail time or any repercussions to that degree, is because like yes, you defended yourself, but like you hurt her in form of your defense. So like that we have to have some kind of punishment for that. So when I just take all that into account, it's hard for me to just view that and be like, oh yeah, it's like the same as the like not being funny, but like even the Chris Brown situation where yeah, we have information that Rihanna started those things, but to me, even then, Chris Brown went too far. Like I think at a certain point, even if you are defending yourself, the photos that we saw, maybe it did look worse, but like to have her face look like that, like I like at some point you weren't defending yourself. That was anger. That was some form of like strong emotion to make you like go past that because you were no longer in danger at that moment. To me, I haven't seen enough evidence for Jonathan Majors to put him on that same level of be like, oh yeah, he's an abuser. And also like we also do have hindsight because with Chris specifically, and even though I do give him some lacks for the Rihanna thing, even though I still condemn him, but there is some lacks given the more context. He has a pattern of doing this with other women in some form, like maybe not putting his hands on them, but abusing them to some degree where like they're putting out restraining orders, they're making sure that they have no contact with him, they're
Yes,
actively trying to
harassment of
like
some
yeah,
sort.
like they're actively trying to keep him out of their life. So like for me, it just seems like it is very nuanced. It is a very touchy subject. I'm not trying to say that he is completely innocent. I just feel like the way that a lot of the public has just condemned him, I feel like is a lot because he's a black man and just it's just easier to do that. And not being funny, I know I've probably brought it up like 4 times. It's also because of how he looked. If he was a more conventionally attractive black man, I feel like he would get more slack. But since he looks the way that he looks, like yes, some black people do find him attractive, but conventionally for like white people and others, they don't find him like as an attractive black man. So I think, and he's a big brolic dude too.
But so
Like
he's
he
also
like
huge.
he looks
He's
like he just
also
looks like a
massive.
big like
Yeah,
as
he got a
we
certain
have a
build,
joke
don't he,
amongst
son?
ourselves, but like he looks like big scary black man. Like that's
You
what
can
he
have
looks
that
like
on
to a like the average person is gonna see Jonathan
You
Majors and be
unlock
like,
that on the
oh,
Patreon.
that's a nigga. Like that's nigga. That is nigga. Like that's what they're gonna see when they look at him. So
Yeah.
that like it's just a crazy
The
thing to me. Like
Patreon.
I'm not trying to like I said, I'm not trying to say he did no wrong. I'm not trying to say that like, none of that. My main thing honestly is that we don't have enough evidence for me personally to just say he is this label. Like that's why I brought up like I feel like people are quick to put labels on others. I don't feel like there's enough evidence for me to be like he is this thing. Like just me personally.
Yeah, this also isn't a boys' club, and then we just like invited Kiana on. Like we view things objectively. We try to view things as fairly as possible. Like we aren't like the boys' club type people.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to make sure I went around that properly because like it could come off as like, oh yeah, like it's a woman. So like no, like we've had situations where there is evidence or there is context where it's like, yeah, like this dude is the worst. You're a scumbag, like get him out of here. I just don't feel like there's enough of it this time. And just to go onto that, it's like it's in the same realm, but we were also gonna bring it up just a little bit. I think how people are trying to paint him as like this jigaboo coon for going on black entertainment type things now is so disingenuous, and just shows me that you have not been following his career, because since he came onto the scene, he's been showing love to all forms of black media. He usually works with black directors. He has black cast a lot of the time. Like when he was on what's the show? Lovecraft Country. He was on these same black radio shows and host TV shows promoting that show. Like he has been for black people, like for the entire time.
That person deleted that tweet, and I figured they did that for a specific reason, because
like that was so dumb.
I think it is interesting that they tried to say that, but I guess like I think that just comes with the territory when you start to find like white success in a sense, or like, you know, you get successful in these white spaces and stuff, then people start to look at you and be like, yeah, he was never down with us, like da 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 da. That's just a part of it. But yeah, from what I've known Jonathan Majors to be and the decisions he's made in his career, he's definitely collaborated with a lot of black artists.
He's stuck black, bro. So, he's like you said, he's actively gone out of his way to make sure that he's working with majority black people.
We don't get that Coretta King bar, bro. You know what I'm saying? If he wasn't pro black.
That's what I like. Like it's a joke, but that's so serious. That's a joke, but that's bro. Like I saw somebody literally say he married Megan Good just so that way he can get good with black people. What? Megan Good? Like I can understand if it was like a random, but Megan Good.
He married my wife. That shit crazy as hell, man.
That's just baseline. Like that's just he just married me. Like nigga, what? He done changed her whole life back again. She was a born again Christian. She was a born again Christian and went back to her natural ways to get with this man. Like,
man, that was the first I never liked that, man. I never liked that relationship.
Like, come on,
I ain't gonna
bro.
talk about that shit.
When I saw that, I'm like, are we
he was trying to make her something that she wasn't.
I was like, whatever to the other stuff. But then when they was like, oh yeah, he only married Megan Good because she's a black woman and then make him look good. What? And then they put marriage in quotation. What? Megan Good.
Not to derail too much, but y'all saw what Dell put with the Chris Brown and Karuchi scene yesterday at Coachella. It's kind of funny that we were just talking about, you know, them and his past transgressions. Not to like be like a drama podcast or anything, but real quick, how y'all feel about that? Yeah, I think like
I don't have no feelings for it.
Yeah, I think that's weird.
Yeah, I don't not care, but it's like Chris Brown is so far removed. I like his earlier music, and whatever he does now, I just don't care. Like I respect, because I said it even when Rihanna forgave him. I respect that whoever he actually abused forgave him and can accept him. So like I don't have to like or care about him, but whenever somebody just bashes him and then bring up those points, I just always be like, I mean, I like, and it's gonna sound bad, but I can't care more than the person that was affected. Like that's always been my stance on a lot of things. I can't care more than the person that was affected with the situation personally. So if they're fine with it, like that's okay. Like I don't have to talk about whatever goes on. I can acknowledge my portion of like when he did those things, that's fucked up. But as far as like my view on Chris Brown as a person, I don't like. He makes good music when he did. I don't really care. He respectfully, and I know niggas might never ever see this, but like if it ever gets out there, respect to you, Chris Brown. He do coke. I know he do coke for real. Them backflips, that dancing, that boy do coke.
That's crazy.
Whatever gets out there.
That boy do coke. And then, hey, he like a good time. I don't do coke. I probably will never do coke. But hey, that's
probably is hilarious.
That's a great point to wrap this up.
On that note,
UConn might be crazy.
Yeah.
The usual spot, man.
Great first episode.
Where we do cocaine.
Yeah. I like this format. I like
now a quick ad
comfortable it felt.
From Bombas.
Yeah, we lost Dell, but
the Bombas.
This part was sponsored by Prize Picks.
This part is sponsored by Nintendo.
No, we are not doing no Prize Picks.
Ray Dungeon Shadow Legends.
Hold on. If we can get a little money on in our prize.
I'm not doing no gambling fucking ads, bro.
Luis ruined our damn Nintendo.
Fantasy sports app in all the land.
On God, Kiana.
Listen, Bombas socks. Most comfortable socks you'll ever wear. I'm wearing some right now.
Oh, brother, everybody wears Bombas.
We're not getting no money to endorse it.
What the hell is that?
What are we doing?
Bomba socks. What the fuck is that?
How are they gonna know how good we can promote if we don't do it?
Yeah,
Well,
good point.
That's not how that works.
Hey, prospects. Hey, prospects. We watch the NBA all the time.
We just gave them
And
a
we-
fucking ad, bro. That's crazy. We just gave a free ad. They don't have to pay us shit. Talk about prize picks on here.
I want to.
Oh yeah, all 10 people are gonna that watch this are
I
gonna
know,
watch.
right?
But go get Bombas socks. Tell them we sent you.
Oh man. But
All
yeah,
right,
great,
guys,
great
let's
episode.
move back to the Discord.
All right,
Good
I'm wrapping
stuff.
up. I'm about to put the.
Nice.
That was fun, guys. That was hilarious. It's a great convo.
You know what I'm saying? I can't wait.
No
for
hard
this shit.
R's, no monkey.
No,
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 Sean
no,
dropped.
no,
That's
Sean
not
dropped
true.
one.
That's
Sean
not
dropped
true.
one.
That's not true.
Oh.
Sean
dropped
said
one.
it. Sean said it.
I heard it.
I dropped
I
Oh,
heard
one.
it.
okay.
I
It
was like,
would
oh,
be-
It was
man, we got
it
to
was
beat
it
that.
was contextual. You know what I'm saying? There was context included with
It
the
was,
whole
but
thing.
it's still a
Honestly,
hard
yeah.
R.
Was
Yeah.
my mic working the
Was
whole
it
time?
unprovoked?
Like
Yeah.
that sound
Yeah.
fine? Okay.
Yeah.
I made sure because it wouldn't show up sometimes. So I'm like, is my shit tripping? Yeah, that was great. I enjoyed that.
One contextual hard R. You know what I'm saying?
That DMC shit didn't get talked about enough. I don't give a fuck. Fuck what y'all saying. Fuck what
Okay.
y'all think.
That boy was
didn't get my
mad.
shit-
That
I
boy-
didn't get my
that
shit
boy-
off.
nah,
I
that
really
boy-
didn't. No,
that
because
boy
y'all
leaves on that.
kept talking
No
over me.
spoilers,
Y'all
no
kept talking
spoilers.
over me
That
and
boy
cut
don't-
me off. Like, I really didn't get my. Bro, I
You
didn't
had
get.
not, I promise you probably had nothing else to say. Like,
Bro, I
you
did.
said-
Y'all cut me off. How would you know?
You
How would you know?
aside,
y'all
you
talking
probably
about that?
repeating
Because you were
yourself,
talking,
probably
you were
had
talking
nothing else to say.
spoilers. You were talking spoilers, and people weren't like, That's
Yeah,
just
say
brand
she
new.
out.
All right.
She's out.
GG's, man. Good pod.
GG's.
Man.
Yeah, good pod, man.
Oh, okay.